Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Gutman Law, wills, trusts, and probate law at gutmanlaw.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
After a cold day, we're in for a chilly night tonight, falling back to the mid-20s with a clear sky. At least the wind will back off temporarily. It picks up again tomorrow, this time from the southwest, 15 to 25 miles per hour. We'll keep the sunshine, and it will be warm with a high near 58. Sunday, the nicer weekend day, partly cloudy, not as windy, with a high of 66.
Mostly cloudy, windy right now, 36 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Stay smart, stay connected by staying tuned in. News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRUSH. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRUSH.
You get arrested while in office. You should immediately go on leave, and I think, frankly, if you're convicted, you should be booted. Welcome to Drive Time once again. Today, we get news of a state legislator who gets arrested for driving drunk. And in the criminal justice system, you have a right to due process. In the elected official system, you don't have a right to anything. And I think if you cannot be responsible enough while in office to follow the law, when it comes to driving drunk and worse, you should be booted. And I think we should put this in state law so it doesn't become political, where there is a standard of if you screw up, if you break the law, you're out. 651-461-9226. I do think, just like Senator Nicole Mitchell, the DFLer should have been kicked out immediately after she was charged with a felony. I think State Representative Elliott Engen, who was arrested on suspicion of drunk driving, I think he should be kicked out as well. I think we are far too tolerant of drunk driving for sure. This is a topic we've discussed before on this show. The fact that because so many of us think, oh, well, it could have been me. It was just a mistake. It was just a mistake. When you're an elected official, you're held to a different standard. And I do hope that this state representative, who has a very promising political future, he's running for statewide office right now. He's running for auditor. In fact, two candidates, a DFLer and a Republican, running for auditor, have been arrested for a DUI. I mean, so this is so common in Minnesota that people just think like, well, you know, I mean, who hasn't been there? You know what I mean? Elected officials should do better. We all should do better. But elected officials, I do think we can hold to a different standard. And I believe if you get arrested, I do think you have right to due process in court. Elliott Engen, who was arrested in White Bear Lake early this morning, posted on social media to my family, colleagues, and constituents, I am deeply sorry. I strive to be a man of good character. My actions fell short last night. I will learn from this. I will do better. That was his response. The city of White Bear Lake said that just before 2 in the morning, which, by the way, nothing good happens just before 2 in the morning, Elliott Engen was pulled over, not just for drunk driving. Also, he was pulled over because he was speeding. He had expired registration. So his tabs were expired. And he had a headlight out. Now, there's some debate as to what his blood alcohol level was in the statement. Well, White Bear Lake said it was 0.13, 0.13. In the Minnesota Star Tribune, his lawyer sent the Star Tribune some forms that showed his breath test was lower than that, 0.098 or 0.092. Either way, if you're at pretty close to a 0.10, the limit is 0.08. Ubers are widely available. Choices are available to you. And I do think it's time we hold our elected officials to a higher standard. Why not start there? Why not put it in the law? If you get arrested, and maybe I'm too harsh for you, but I do think if you get arrested for a gross misdemeanor or more severe than that, you should go on leave, and then if you're charged, well, honestly, I think if you're charged, you should be kicked out. I do. There are plenty of people who can serve in these jobs, serve in these elected officials. I think you should be out. 651-461-9226. Phil is in Woodbury. Phil, do you think we should have a standard so this doesn't become a political tug of war? Should they get kicked out or should they get another chance?
I think it depends on what their alcohol test was. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I want to say a couple things.
Sure.
So like Justin Bieber, he got pulled over. He's got enough money. Why didn't he just have someone drive him? I mean, it's so stupid, you know?
I don't understand that either. Same thing.
And then these cops in these small towns, all they do is if they get pulled over, we'll just call one of our buddies. He'll bring us home. You know, the rules should apply to everybody. I don't care who you are.
Agreed. Thanks, Phil.
Anyway,
I
love you guys.
Thanks, Phil. Betty has just joined us on the CCO Talk and Text line from Lakeville at 651-461-9226. Betty, I want to forgive people. I want to give people a second chance. And I even think, like, once you get booted, I would consider voting for you again if you took steps and changed your life. But I really think we need to draw a stronger line on this stuff and kick people out of office. What do you think?
I completely agree. It's a totally 100%, it's a preventable incident. You do not have to drive. You can call someone, you can Uber, you can get a hotel, there's a lot of choices. And I think it's irresponsible, and I think people need to be punished. Just be done. A lot of people die from drunk drivers. He's lucky that's all he did.
He is lucky. He's absolutely lucky. Yeah. He was speeding. He had, now, of course, innocent until proven guilty. There is a criminal process. But I think when it comes to elected officials, we're not the court of law. This is a privilege to have a spot in our state Senate or our state House or in the governor's office or whatever. I think it is a privilege, and I do think we should just be more firm with this and say, like, if you can't avoid this. Now, if you're arrested and you're straight up denying and saying I didn't do it, maybe that's a different scenario. I don't know.
I think that, and I think across the board it should be stricter.
Agreed.
I think this is something that people need to just take a step back and go, you know what, I don't need to drive, call somebody. It's easy to prevent it. So I think I don't usually 100% agree with you, but I do today.
Every once in a while, like a clock ends up at the right time twice. Yeah, you know the deal. But very good. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. Outstanding. Kevin's in Anoka. Kevin, am I being too harsh on this? I just think we can draw a line here. It's not that difficult.
I'm sorry, but if your judgment is so poor that you can't manage your own personal life and not do incredibly stupid things, you have no business being held making decisions for other people. When you can handle your own life and you can You can do things for other people. And I 100% blame this on city and county state government, because drinking and driving is nothing more than a cash meal for local government.
So when you blame it on them, do you think are you referring to like the way it's enforced? Do you think it's over enforced, or you're saying like the reason they let you off so easy is because they're going to get you back in the system again?
Well, it's $800 to get license plates after you've been drinking and driving. You have to pay all the court costs. The lawyers make money. The district attorney has a job. The courts get money out of it. Drinking and driving ought to be an automatic 1 year. Your license is gone. And if you get caught driving without your license on a DWI, it's a felony and you go to jail for 5 years.
I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100%. That would solve this. I really think that would solve this issue, don't you?
And the blood alcohol level needs to be like it is in a lot of European countries. Blood alcohol is 0.01.
Just that's it. You drink, that's no drive. Yeah.
When I was in Italy with the Air Force, we were told drinking and driving is 5 years. If you damage property, it's 10 to 15 years. And if you kill somebody drinking and driving, they consider it premeditated murder and you do life.
Kevin, thank you. It's a culture change. It would be a massive culture change. But I'm not opposed. I don't think anything that we've done, we've made some difference, some impact, but we've sort of plateaued, right? Changing the blood alcohol level to 0.08 has helped. I just expect more of people who are in a position of public trust. Keep weighing in. 651-461-9226. Drive Time back in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
TurinDermatology.com. That is the website you need to remember. That's the only name you need to remember when it comes to taking care of your skin. It's Jason here for my friends at Turin Dermatology. They are my dermatologist. But so many CCO radio listeners have reached out to Dr. Mohiba Turin and the Turin team because, well, it just is a different level of care. They're the experts when it comes to the full-body skin checkup. If you've never had one, oh, my gosh, once a year you should do it. Get that baseline at least. Let the team at Turin Dermatology track any moles or marks or colorings on your body. They are so good. They know exactly how to treat different people of different skin colors, different skin pigmentation, family history, on and on and on. They'll take care of your skin and make sure they catch something before it becomes a big deal. 10 locations all over the Twin Cities. They got you covered when it comes to surgical, like the Mohs procedures, cosmetic dermatology. Yeah, they can help you with all of that as well. Experience the difference. I tell you, from the second you walk into one of their 10 locations, you're going to feel it. Turin Dermatology gets you in within 3 weeks. That's the other thing I love. Holy cow. So many dermatologists. You may have to wait 3 to 6 months. 3 weeks. Don't wait. You can request your appointment right now or do it all weekend. You do it at the website, Turin, T-A-R-E-E-N, dermatology.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
When you're in pain, you need the Good Feet store. Don't waste another minute suffering from foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. You might feel the difference immediately.
I walked right into the Good Feet store and I tried the Good Feet Arch Support System, and my hip pain is gone.
The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to put your foot in the most ideal position, redistributing the body weight more evenly, helping to relieve pain and stress in the body.
That nagging pain in my lower back, gone.
The Good Feet store has over 350 styles and sizes to relieve your pain.
I've always had bad knees. I've had 6 surgeries, and I could never do a knee bend. Now I'm working out, and it's just wonderful.
Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at amazonbusiness.com.
They said that building an outdoor kitchen bigger than your indoor kitchen would be crazy. But when you consider all the possibilities of a TrueStone Financial home equity loan with an APR as low as 4.99% and for a limited time, no closing costs, Well, the sizzling burgers on that built-in grill, they say otherwise. A TrueStone home equity loan is flexible financing for just about everything, even outdoor kitchens. It's true, because we're TrueStone. Get cooking at truestone.org. Terms and conditions apply. Closing cost offer not valid with competing offers or promotions. Equal housing opportunity.
I built this business the old-fashioned way. Hard work and a whole lot of spreadsheets.
Yeah, about that, I upgraded us to Odoo. Odoo puts everything we need, sales, inventory, accounting, on one connected platform. No more juggling systems, no more headaches.
So it all works together?
Exactly.
Odoo is the all-in-one business software that makes running and passing on a business easier than ever. Take your business into the next generation. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
I was ordering food for the office from the same few places for too long.
For workplaces suffering with office food fatigue, every day's a struggle.
Before starting Easy Cater, I assumed having no good vegan options for Carl in finance was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat OFF with a huge variety of favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Used daily, one platform lets you save time and shine. Ask your app store about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
Jason DeRUSH.
I have never really been a fan of his, but the truth of the matter is the guy really does care. My opinion has completely changed about the guy.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
It's not a political issue for me at all. We've talked about this before. I mean, I could run through the list if you want of all of the elected officials. But just in this particular case, you've got Representative Dan Wolgamott, who is running for state auditor, along with Elliott Engen. And both of these guys have been arrested for DWI. I mean, there have been a lot of these cases. State Senator Tu Zhang, we've talked about that case as well. Arrested in Maplewood, August of last year, his second. It's just too much. I think if you get, to me, arrested is enough. It is. To get you booted, I say if you're arrested, there should be procedures like in any business where the procedure is if you're arrested, you're immediately suspended without pay. And if you're charged, maybe you're booted. If you're convicted, maybe you're booted. But you should be suspended without pay. And boom, take the politics out of it. Because we saw what happened with the Nicole Mitchell case, where I think everybody reasonably agreed, like, this should not be a thing. She should be kicked out. But they didn't do it because they needed her vote and the legislature was tied and blah, blah, blah. I want to take all that crap out of it. Jim is in Minneapolis on the CCO Talk and Text line. Thanks for calling in, Jim. What do you think about this? Should you lose your elected position if you're arrested for drunk driving?
You know, Jason, humans make mistakes, and maybe a misdemeanor charge, and the guy tries to do right, you give him another chance. But I don't disagree that there should be maybe a higher standard for state officials and government officials.
Yeah, and my view on this, Jim, is that, look, under my plan, Elliott Engen would get booted, just like Wolgamott would have gotten booted, like Nicole Mitchell, all these people. And if they make amends, admit what they did, take steps towards improving their life, making better decisions, I would be happy to vote for them again in the future. Like, I do think as a society, we're too eager to throw people into the trash bin and sort of wash our hands. I do want people to have a path back, but I just don't know that that path back should be while you're occupying a seat in the state capitol.
Yeah, I can buy into that, I guess. I have some advice for everyone that occasionally breaks a law. Only break them one at a time.
Yeah. It's harder to have sympathy for you when you've got expired tabs, you were speeding, and you were drunk driving. All of those things. That's for sure, Jim.
That makes my point.
Yeah, very good. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Jim. Lots of texts coming in, too. A texter saying this. which I do think is a valid issue. Jason, you said if you're charged with a crime, you should be fired. A police officer or sheriff could charge you with a crime that you didn't commit, perhaps out of spite or perhaps to affect the party balance in the legislature. The drunk driving issue is a little different. I do think that's a fair point, and I would want to set up, like any HR situation, you'd have a process. I do think there should be a process, but I don't think it should be a 2-month-long process. Mark is in St. Paul. Mark, thanks for listening. Happy Friday. What do you think should happen if somebody, like in the Elliott Engen situation here?
Well, you're talking about politicians, right?
Right.
And you want him to step down?
I would like it to be automatic, where there's some sort of procedure. If we're leaving up to politicians to do the moral or the right thing, I guess I'm not going to hold my breath,
Well, you think you should be allowed due process? Like, that's what? You're considering that should be the thing you should be afforded?
What do you think? What do you think, Mark?
Well, I think everybody should be afforded due process. So, you're talking about this guy committing a felony, I assume.
Gross misdemeanor, I believe, is what he's charged with right now.
Well, Trump was found with 2 felonies. You think he should have stepped down?
Well, he wasn't in office, and people elected him knowing that he had those felonies. So that's different for me. Would I vote for someone with a felony on their record? Sure, if they had taken steps to say, like, yep, I was at a dark point, or I turned my life around, or I disagree with the charges, so I went to prison, whatever. Many different ways to view that. But you have an option, like people had an option to evaluate that when they decided whether or not they were going to vote for President Trump.
Well, when he was convicted of, sexual battery, wasn't he in office at that point?
I don't think he was convicted of that, but there was
He was.
I mean, if you want to, like, Mark, I guess the reason I want a policy is because I want to get this, what about Trump? What about so-and-so? What about Dan Walgamot? What about this DFLer? Like, we're so tribal, we make this political. To me, I don't care what party you are.
Get political.
I don't think there's anything political about my view on this. It's about respect for the law and respect for the office and respect for the people who elected you. I'm not defending Trump. I'm just saying, like, the voters knew all of this stuff when they chose to send him in. And I also would say, under my thesis, Elliott Engen should get kicked out of the state house. And also, he's 27. If he wants to run again, absolutely. Like, I'm cheering for him to find a path to evaluate his choices, to make better choices in the future. I think you can evaluate that and choose. That's my belief.
I understand that. But, he was found guilty, and, nothing happened to him. All right.
But the people knew and they voted for him. I can't help it if the people decide that they're going to reject that as material information or not. The people voted for him and they knew this stuff. That's sort of my view. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. I get where you're coming from. I find it crazy that people would vote for someone to be the president of the United States who has a felony on his record. But I also believe in the people voting. And I think people can make a choice. When you're in office, we, the people, have there's nothing we can do about it. And that's why I think it should be a policy. You could set up some HR type procedures, but I think it should be a policy. We're going to break in a minute. The Special Olympics is coming here to Minnesota. This is going to be a really big deal. And already, the team behind the Special Olympics is trying to figure out, how do we get Minnesotans involved? So we're going to have the Senior Vice President of Special Events for the 2026 Special Olympics USA in studio in just a minute to talk about how you can make the Special Olympics even better when we come back.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Do you care about your lawn? Do you care about your lawn? It's Jason here. I love a lush, green, weed-free, beautiful lawn. And that's why right now it is time to get on the list to have the team at ProTurf take care of your yard and your landscape. Jason here for locally owned ProTurf. They have been making Minnesota's lawns look beautiful for more than 40 years here in the Twin Cities. Based here locally. A lot of these things you get flyers for, they're not local. They don't know our soil, our grasses, our landscape. ProTurf does. You want lawn techs who've been around for more than 20 years, taking care of the same route year after year? That's ProTurf. They got them. That's who takes care of my yard. These products are scientifically proven, too. They're liquid and granular. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation either. ProTurf, when you call them at 952-469-8680, ProTurf will come to your lawn. They're not going to use a Google satellite thing and just decide. No, they'll come to your lawn. They'll design a solution for you. And then, hey, maybe you want a fire pit or a retaining wall, or you want to yank out some plants that are overgrown. Reach out. ProTurf will take care of your irrigation system, too. They made my lawn go from to wow. And they start my sprinkler system as well. Reach out, 952-469-8680, or get to the website. It is professionalturf.com.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? Sir, I'm just writing up a warning. This make you feel like a big man? I didn't realize this would trigger a citywide crisis. Has the mayor been made aware? Sir, I wasn't going to issue... Yeah, just doing your job, huh? Oh, you're really stamping out crime, issuing parking tickets.
Well, I wasn't going to, but now I am. Have a nice day.
Honey, that's not even our car.
No. Some people play golf. I do this.
If stirring the pot is your idea of fun, call us. We love a good debate. News Talk 830 WCCO.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
Chad back here with you. I want to talk about trust and peace of mind. We all need it, in particular in some areas, including your insurance. Maybe it's for your business, or maybe it's more traditional with your house and your car. For me, I have trusted Amber Scholl and Associates with American Family for, what are you guessing, 5 years, 10 years? No. My entire family, whether it's my father or my kids, with American Family, with Amber in particular, for 30 years. We dread something bad happening with our house, with a car accident, but we need people with expertise, with professionalism and availability, and that's what Amber and her team are all about. Reach out to them today. It's worth it. Trust me. 651-738-4811.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And brought to you by Lindner's Construction, Lindner'sConstruction.com. North 35E to East 694 ramp is currently closed, has been for a while as they deal with a truck that rolled over onto its side. So the ramp again is closed. North 35E to East 694. 694 eastbound at Rice Street, accident working their activity off to both sides of the highway. It is slow. Pretty much is coming from Lexington, heading over to Edgerton, where you find the rollover accident working. Get ready for the season ahead with a hog-free leaf guard brand gutter system now with free installation labor this March. Go to lindisconstruction.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, CCO forecast time. It is Chris Schaefer time. Chris?
We chill again tonight with a clear sky, falling back to 24. At least the wind will settle down. It's going to amp up again tomorrow from the southwest, 15 to 25 miles per hour. We'll have the sunshine, though, and it's a warm wind, taking us up to 58 for a high. Not windy Sunday, plenty of sunshine, and a high of 66.
Right now, it is sunny, but it is windy and cold. Red flag warning in effect in Minneapolis right now. It is 35 degrees, but it's so windy it feels like 15. It's kind of gross out there on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH, video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Gonna tell them everything. Tell them I'm a good kisser. Tell them all the things you told me.
All right, a lot of us had such fun watching the Olympics, watching the Paralympics, sort of that pride that came from watching fellow Americans do things that, let's be real, like most of us can't even dream of it. You are about to experience that here in the Twin Cities to the next level. Do you know that we are just 85 days away from the Special Olympics USA Games being right here in the Twin Cities? First time we've hosted this since 1991. This is going to be massive, and because of the size of this, they need a lot of us to step up and help out. So to talk about that, first of all, I think a lot of you guys maybe didn't even know this is happening. Amy Murray is with us. She's the Senior Vice President of Special Events for the 2026 Special Olympics USA Games. Amy, it's so good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
This is big, right?
It's huge. It's gigantic. Just to put it in perspective, we have about 3,000 athletes and 1,500 coaches coming in June to be a part of these games. That is akin to what just happened in Milano. There was just a little over 3,000 athletes participating in the Winter Olympics. So pretty big event.
I hadn't even considered the scale of that it is this similar size as far as participation goes as the Global Olympics.
Exactly.
Wow. To make this cook, you need tons and tons of volunteers, right?
We do. Luckily, here in Minneapolis, Minnesota in general, we are used to producing these huge events. We've done Super Bowl and NCAA basketball. We've done the Olympic trials for gymnastics. So this is a really nice next step for us.
Yeah.
And we're looking to fill about 20,000 shifts. And
what?
I think
20,000?
I know.
This is your job to get this done?
Not just mine.
Okay.
We have an amazing team pulled together, but we think if we can find 10,000 people to fill those 20,000 shifts, we'll be in good shape.
Now, this is going on in June 20th through the 26th, and it's going to be all over Minnesota. I wonder if we can back up, though, because I don't know that everybody understands what the Special Olympics is. Could you give us, I mean, first of all, prepare to be, like, emotionally blown away by what you witness, because, my gosh, right? So explain what the Special Olympics is.
Yeah, I'm glad you actually asked for that distinction. So we just watched the 5-ring Olympics, followed by the Paralympics, and now we're going into the Special Olympics here in the United States. So we've got the USA Games. The 5-ring and the Paras are athletes that you'll see the difference between them is just in their physicalness, their bodies.
Right.
For us at Special Olympics, it's about intellectual disabilities. So you still see quite elite athletes.
Sure.
But these athletes have intellectual disabilities.
And that is the difference. And we know, like, you know, this being in the Special Olympics for these athletes is life-changing. But I think witnessing it, being a part of that journey, I think people here in Minnesota and in Wisconsin who come to see these games, and there are going to be people from all over the country, but like I said, I don't know if people are fully prepared for how inspiring and how amazing it is.
I think you're right, Jason. And if ever there was a time that people needed maybe a boost of joy in their life, I've got you covered. Just join us any one of the days, whether as a volunteer or a spectator, and you will be forever changed, whether it's because you meet an athlete or because you are a part of volunteering, or maybe you meet a family member. There's zero chance you're not going to be transformed in one way or another.
When you look at the sort of volunteer shifts, what kind of stuff are people going to be doing?
We have absolutely everything from helping us make beds to going and helping us with sports like basketball and cornhole, as well as we are really looking for some of those 4 a.m. caffeine warriors to join us to help us get our athletes prepared for the day, to start them off on the right foot. Breakfast, getting them to their sporting competitions, helping them get on buses. So we need people all day long for more than just the 6 days.
You mentioned cornhole and pickleball.
Yes.
Both new this year, right?
Yes. So obviously,
Special Olympics mixes up the sports just like the 5 ring. I like 5 ring. That's a good way to. You don't want to say like the real Olympics or the bit. You know what I mean? 5 ring. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have 16 sports this year, and there are way more sports than that, but we had to narrow it down. So we picked 16, and this year there's 2 new ones, and you just knocked on that door: cornhole and pickleball. And one thing that's really interesting is these will be both athletes that have intellectual disabilities and those without are going to be competing. And we called that unified sport or unified play.
Nice. We've got Amy Murray, Senior Vice President of Special Events for Special Olympics. Location, where will the games be?
Yeah, they're right next door, basically. So at the University of Minnesota, we're pretty much taking over all of their venues. And we will also be at the National Sports Center in Blaine. So really, they're accessible to people. They're easy to get to. So we hope that that doesn't stop you from coming and clapping and cheering and participating.
Absolutely. Now, 3 months away-ish.
Yeah.
When you think about, I often wonder about this with big events because as an outsider, you're sort of like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys, like 3 months to go, What are you working on? What sort of preparation is going on?
Well, so again, to put this in perspective, we've been planning for years. We won the bid, I think, 6 years ago. And as you might guess, we have been adding and adding to the teams and working on all of the production and the planning. But now that we're in the home stretch, these 85 days, and it's not like the tick-tock of the clock is deafening yet, but it sure is loud. So we're using the momentum to really get out there, to work with our partners, to work with our volunteers and our teams to get the word out that this is happening. But we're also putting the extra shine on everything as well and making sure we're really ready.
Amy Murray with Special Olympics is with us. Can you talk a little bit about opening ceremony?
That's my sweet spot.
Oh, that's your, your special event. So I'm like, opening ceremony, I just think like that is probably going to be the initial way that most people are going to connect with this if they don't sign up for volunteer.
Exactly. So we're going to be at Huntington Bank Stadium. So we have a seat for everybody who might want to come and watch this. But this is definitely the place where the tone will be set. It is the button to all of our planning, but it's also the exclamation point that's going to start us off. It will be really emotional when you watch those delegations walk in representing the 52. California gets 2 and Washington, D.C. gets 1. So we have delegations from across the country.
There's like a Northern California.
Exactly. NorCal and SoCal. So we will have that's actually, it feels like maybe it could be a boring moment, but it's not.
I don't know. Like, I love the 5-ring opening ceremony. Like, it is cool to watch the delegations come in, right?
It's a lot of clapping and cheering, and you get really excited when you see your team. There's also going to be, of course, entertainment. There is some pomp and circumstance protocol, and we light the cauldron. So we will also have some headline talent in there as well. And I think, well, I don't.
Who's coming? Let's hear it.
I can't tell you yet.
Sure,
I can't tell you yet.
Who's stopping you?
Me and the lawyers.
The lawyers. The
But I'll tell you
lawyers.
in May. I'll tell you in May when we launch ticket sales.
So ticket sales not ready yet.
Not ready yet. We will be doing a big launch in the early part of May.
Very cool. You mentioned the unified part of this, and Amy Murray is the Senior Vice President of Special Events for the Special Olympics. I think that is such a unique experience, right? When you look at these unified pairs, is it friends who get paired up? Is it siblings? Is it random? Like, how does that work?
That's a great question, and it's all of the above. So potentially you could be with a sibling, like Brock Faber and his sister are a unified team. They actually participate in cornhole. They won't this year, but that shows you a familiar pair. There's also, when you go to school, when you're in high school, there's a lot of schools across Minnesota and across the country that have unified sports. So you might be with your best friend. Or what we really hope happens is you join unified sport play and you meet your best friend.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. The immediate ability is for people to sign up to volunteer. And if you want to learn more about that, pretty simple. Where you go, let's see, 2026 usagames.org.
2026 Special Olympics, usagames.org.
Could you just Google volunteer? Like, that's a long one.
It's a long one. If you Google.
I have it up on our screen, too, if you're watching on the live stream on YouTube or X or Facebook. But it looks like I messed it up. No, there's a short code, 2026 usagames.org/volunteer. I thought I had it screwed up. You scared me. It redirects it to 2026 Special Olympics usagames.org. But either way.
Sorry about that, Jason.
How dare you? How dare you?
Please still volunteer.
People are going to figure it out. I think they'll figure it out. And Minnesotans always step up to volunteer. We saw it at the Super Bowl, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun. If there's one thing Minnesotans love doing, it is volunteering.
It is. That's true.
Amy, really appreciate you being here. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. And people should mark their calendars, June 20th through the 26th. There are going to be 100,000 plus fans who come here. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be incredible. I promise you will have the most joyful day or week of your life.
Amy Murray, appreciate it. Thanks so much for coming in. A little bit of positivity on this Friday to get us propelled into the weekend thinking, talk to your loved ones, get them involved. Any age limit or anything for volunteer?
15 is the youngest, but...
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you think you're high school kids? You need those volunteer hours, kids.
They
right?
do. They do. We have a lot of people already that have signed up that are in the 15 to 18 age range. So come one, come all.
Very good. Amy Murray, thank you. It's 3:49. We'll break. When we come back, I stumbled into a country music concert last night and loved it. A little bit about live music coming up here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
As the weather has changed, you may have noticed there's more activity going on in the real estate market. If you're somebody like me, where part of your fun is checking out real estate listings, you've seen him. It's Jason here, and Chris Lindahl wants to help you out. Chris Lindahl is a Minnesotan. He grew up here. He's got kids going to school here. Chris is a good dude. Graduated from Mankato. You see him on the billboard, arms wide out. You're like, what's the deal with this guy? I'm telling you, I have known him for years. He is kind. He is generous. And he's innovative. He's always thinking about new ways that he can get you to a quicker, easier solution. And the guaranteed cash offer is proven. It just is. And with more homes coming on the market right now, the other thing I've noticed is that a lot of the prices are way out of whack with what the market is. What Chris Lindahl does is he gives you certainty. When you get that guaranteed cash offer and you say yes, you are days away from receiving a big red check. When he says, yes, we're doing it, when you say yes, nobody's backing out over an inspection or, oh, I lost my job, I can't close, blah, blah, blah. You get certainty, he gets the headaches. Sounds pretty good, right? See if it works for you. If you go to chrislindahl.com, right at the top of the page, there's a box where you click on it to get a free Smart Seller Guide. Even if you're thinking about selling your house over the next year, take a look at the guide. Get thinking about it, get in front of it, and get with my friend, chrislindahl.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Rollover still has the ramp shut down north 35E to eastbound 694 as work continues to get things cleared out of the way. This is also affecting 694 eastbound, which has already got a crash working in the area of Lexington. There was one at Rice Street. That one just cleared out, and then you got the rollover up ahead, so traffic is slow through that entire run. 694 eastbound, Highway 65, a crash. USPS Ground Advantage reliable route, that's going to be southbound 35E, free-flowing 494 all the way down to the split in Burnsville. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Winter tonight, low of 24. Winter light tomorrow. Windy with a high of 58. And then spring on Sunday, high of 66. We're in a goofy stretch. Red flag warning until 7 p.m. tomorrow. So the fire danger is high. Not a good time for the fire pit here on CC.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH.
I got to sit through this schlock. And if I were a nice guy, I would say that it's dull and uninspired.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
No, I've been washed by the water of the kingdom, washed by the water, my friend, washed by the water of the king. Now I'm going home to the promised land.
All right, that was the closing number last night when I was at Turf Club in St. Paul listening to Russ Parrish, and the Lone Oaks. Such a nice guy. So part of my empty nester journey has been figuring out what Alyssa and I are going to do for fun on the weeknights, and we can't only sit at restaurants and bars. So I love live music, and it's something, Dan, that I don't know, it's one of those things that I love it when I end up invited somewhere or whatever, but it's rare to buy a ticket or plan on a Thursday night I'm going to go to Turf Club.
No, I feel exactly the same way about it. There's a unique energy that happens when you're experiencing live music that you just don't find that anywhere else. It's unique. I keep to go back to the same word, but that's what it is. And yet, I, like you, am very much not something. This isn't something I do. I love it every time I end up there, but it's not something I seek out as often as maybe I should.
It was so fun last night. So we went to the Turf Club, which I don't know, honestly, in my 23 years of living here, if I've ever been to the Turf Club, which I'm embarrassed to report.
I mean, you've literally been everywhere. I'm shocked that there is a spot that you have not been to, such as, especially not one that's as notable as the Turf Club.
University Avenue. Right.
I don't go anywhere. I've been to the Turf Club.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Sort of by Snelling, not too far from Allianz Field. And it was great. Russ wanted to be a part of our bumper music.
Yeah.
And so yesterday during the Twins game, Dan was uploading a bunch of live music to be part of the rotation, the bumper music. So I just got such great energy, and this also cracked me up. There is a country artist by the name of Monique Smaz who was performing last night. She was the headliner. And you know this show that I went to, Dan, you know who was the MC of it? PT from The Wolf.
Of course.
And PT's like, Jason DeRUSH, what are you doing here?
Actually, PT would be more like,
Jason DeRUSH, what are you doing here? Monique Smaz, her mother comes up to me, and she's like, Jason, I'm such a fan, like I was watching you in your TV days. I'm Mama Smaz. Mama Smaz. Call me Mama Smaz. But what was so fun is watching Monique, who is from St. Paul, now lives in Nashville, and her mom was just absolutely partying out to her music. It was just a great night. So we're going to do more of that for sure. Continental Diamond time check. It's 3:58. Check your watch. Make sure you show up on time for that live music gig. When it says 8 o'clock, your luxury timepiece at Continental Diamond in St. Louis Park isn't going to let you down. We have CBS and local news and DeSharks at the top of the hour.
Who doesn't want to sleep better? March is Better Sleep Month, and the answer to better sleep is found at minileaf.com. Jordana Green here, and Mini Leaf has your answer to sleeping all night long, going to sleep faster, and waking up feeling more refreshed and rested. At minileaf.com, you'll find the Sleep Night Gummies and the Sleep Night Gummies Plus. The Sleep Night Gummies have been discounted $5 on the website for March. The folks at Mini Leaf really want you to sleep better. Now, this is one of my favorite products, those Sleep Night Gummies. I give them out to friends or anybody who tells me that they're having trouble sleeping because I know they really work. I use them when I feel like I might have a restless night, but they're also non-addictive, so I don't need them every night. Please try for yourself. You'll thank me. Minileaf.com, Minnesota's home of its best legal products and the home for better sleep. Minileaf.com. Tell them Jordana sent you.
Come on. No! It's just a golf lesson, champ. Loosen up. I can't. See that Hyundai Santa Fe? Yeah. I only paid. Finish up on your own. I gotta run.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Your news, your voice, your station. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Another day of long lines at airports due to the government shutdown and a funding fight on Capitol Hill. This woman has flown out of Baltimore Washington Airport.
It's not fair, and I think that they're being used as pawns, and it's really unfortunate that it's come to this.
President Trump has signed an executive order to pay TSA agents.
The Senate passed a bill to fund all of the department except ICE and Border Patrol, which would have resumed payments to TSA workers. The House did not agree to do the same. In signing his order to pay the TSA while the impasse continues, President Trump said America's air travel system has reached its breaking point. The order directs the department to use other funds, saying the TSA employees should begin seeing their paychecks as early as Monday. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
At this hour, the Martin County Sheriff is expected to speak to reporters about a rollover crash earlier today involving Tiger Woods in Jupiter, Florida. In 2021, Woods was seriously injured in a rollover crash in Los Angeles. Secretary of State Marco Rubio suggests to reporters in Paris after G7 talks that the war with Iran could end in the next couple of weeks.
We are achieving all those objectives. We are ahead of schedule on most of them, and we can achieve them without any ground troops, without any.
CBS's Usher Qureshi has the latest on a detention hearing for a Venezuelan migrant accused of killing a Loyola University student in Chicago.
The judge ordered Jose Medina, a Venezuelan migrant in the U.S. without legal status, held without release today. This after hearing that played out mostly over video, with Medina appearing from a hospital unit via Zoom where he's being treated for tuberculosis. Now, prosecutors focused on what they called a random attack, telling the court Medina waited near a lighthouse before opening fire on a group of students, killing Sheridan Gorman with a single shot to the back.
An Iranian-linked group takes responsibility for hacking into FBI Director Kash Patel's personal email. CBS's Sarah Lynch reports.
The group that is taking responsibility for the intrusion into his email is a group called the Handala Hacking Group, which is connected to Iran. Now, earlier this month, the Justice Department actually seized several domains that were connected with this group and had told the public that they believed this group was behind several other high-profile incidents targeting, among others, Israeli government officials.
The Artemis II crew is at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, preparing for an April 1st launch to the moon. Astronaut Christina Koch.
It was really exciting to see how many people are paying attention to this. Even just being on this team for 3 years, we're actually short-timers. A lot of people have been working for a long time. So we're ready to do this and to fulfill our mission for all of you.
This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Cloudy, windy, 32 degrees at 4:03. I'm Laura Oakes. Vice President J.D. Vance chairing the first meeting of a new anti-fraud task force prompted by fraud within some Minnesota social services programs.
What we're going to actually do is force the bureaucracy to take this seriously and work together as political principles to make sure that we stop allowing fraudsters to steal the American people's money.
Vance says for decades, the federal government has not taken the issue of fraud seriously, and he says it needs to be tackled with what he calls a whole government approach. It's not clear if his political future will be affected after the youngest member of the state legislature is arrested for DWI. 27-year-old Republican Representative Elliott Engen was taken into custody early this morning after a traffic stop for speeding and equipment violations in White Bear Lake. Police say Engen had a blood alcohol level of 0.13. The legal limit for driving is 0.08. Engen is apologizing for his actions in a social media post. Engen is also a candidate for state auditor, and it's not clear if he'll face any punishment from House leadership or if his campaign may be affected. Demands are growing for Delta Airlines to release information about flights they have provided to ICE during Operation Metro Surge that have included detainees. Reporting shows 5-year-old Liam Ramos and his father were flown to a Texas detention center via a commercial Delta flight. Organizer Nick Benson.
How many children were ripped away from our community and sent to sent to ICE detention centers on Delta flights? And more than anything, we need Delta to speak up and use its power to advocate for Minnesotans and not help ICE rip our communities apart.
According to the AP, Delta says most government travel is booked through third-party agencies with no advance notice about who is flying or why. An estimated 100,000 people are expected to attend the No Kings rally in St. Paul tomorrow. It's expected to cause several road closures throughout the city. Drew Kerr is with Metro Transit.
Transit for events like this is really a great option because we can move a lot of people in and out of places pretty efficiently and pretty effectively. We've done that many times over our history and ready to do so again on Saturday.
The National Weather Service issuing a red flag warning for fire danger across most of Minnesota tomorrow. Meteorologist Brennan Detman says we're hitting the time of year when warmer temps, high winds, and dried out vegetation all come into play.
And that combined with lower relative humidities, close to about 15 to 25% relative humidity, very dry conditions, will allow for, should any fires form, for that to spread quickly.
And finally, March Madness continues tonight when the Gopher women's basketball team takes on UCLA in the Sweet 16. As our Ari Bergeron reports, they will be a handful with their #1 ranking in the country and a very impressive player.
Lauren Betts was the Collegiate Defensive Player of the Year last year. She's up for the award again. She's also a finalist for the Naismith Award. She averages 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game. Oh, and she's 6'7". Gophers head coach Dawn Plitzowhite.
There's ball screen roll scenarios, handoff roll scenarios, post-up scenarios. Do you double? When do you double? Do you dig? Do you get back out? How do you rotate? Those type of things. Then when you're in rotation, how do you keep her off the glass? How do you keep her off the glass when you're not in rotation? Then keep her off the glass when you are in rotation. And then there's the defensive side of the ball.
Oh boy, that's a lot to think about. Gopher center Sophie Hart has to cover her.
I think I have my hands full, definitely, but I think it's more fun because you get to be a little bit more physical.
Only problem is she thrives in high contact situations. Ari Bourgeois, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Tip off at 6:30. WCCO News Time is 4:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Ramp still closed north 35E to eastbound 694, the scene of a rollover accident. We'll keep an eye on it. It's been closed for the better part of the rush hour so far, and again, the delays continue through that stretch. 694 eastbound at Rice Street, that crash is cleared out, but still another one in the backup at Lexington off to the right side. 94 eastbound near Zane Avenue, got an accident working there, both sides of the highway. Things are jammed up as you come in from Boone Avenue. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
What a crazy winter. Crabgrass season will be early. Don't wait till it's too late to get your project scheduled. Call ProTurf 952-469-8680 or see their work at professionalturf.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by ProTurf. Find them at professionalturf.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
After a cold day, we're in for a chilly night tonight, falling back to the mid-20s with a clear sky. At least the wind will back off temporarily. It picks up again tomorrow, this time from the southwest, 15 to 25 miles per hour. We'll keep the sunshine, and it will be warm with a high near 58. Sunday, the nicer weekend day, partly cloudy, not as windy with a high of 66.
Cloudy right now, still windy, 32 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
News that leads to conversations. Conversations that matter. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Now, here's Jason DeRUSH.
Laura just complimented my snazzy pants.
They're cool.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's
Yep.
Then people can see it
Very
on
nice.
YouTube. It's Drive Time with DeRUSH, Hour 2. In effect, car DeSharks about to get going, and we need contestants. 651-461-9226. If you've always wanted to play, never played before, I'd love to hear from you. At 651-461-9226. We're playing, as always, for a $50 gift card at Jester Concepts Restaurants. Jester Concepts is Butcher and the Boar, PS Steak. Oh, tonight, there's something going on at PS Steak tonight that I wish I were going to. La Belle Vie was, at one point, Minnesota's finest restaurant, maybe the best restaurant in the upper Midwest. Unbelievable restaurant. Closed, but the same space that La Belle Vie was, which is sort of right across from the Walker Art Center.
Yep.
Now it's PS Steak, which is wonderful, but they have brought back a bunch of the chefs who worked at La Belle Vie, including Diane Mua, who is the pastry chef. Now she has her own restaurant, Diane's Place. Jim Christensen, who is one of my favorite Twin Cities chefs of all time, one of the nicest people, too. But they're all coming back tonight to do sort of a tribute to La Belle Vie's menu.
Oh, I love that.
And they sold that thing out like this.
Is it a fundraiser kind of a thing? Or
I think there's a percentage that's being donated.
Yeah,
but
that's great.
Pretty cool. So, and if not, maybe it's a percentage is being donated to pay for the $50 gift card that Jester Concepts is giving away here today. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Already, 2 contestants ready to go. Hope you're ready to go too. We've got our poem. Our poet laureate has stepped up for sure. So let's go. Let's play America's fastest growing afternoon high-low related card game. It's called Card DeSharks. Baseball is back, as everyone knows. Alas, it began with a loss to the O's. Though you too may lose, you may also win. Whatever the outcome, 'twill end with your grin. On guard, DeSharks.
Yay. Thank you, Kristen.
That's pretty good, Kristen Olsen. Man, Kristen, every week.
I wonder when she starts thinking of these.
It's so
Or
good.
if she keeps kind of a running list
And then,
of ideas.
you're like,
love it.
It's really, really fun. We appreciate it. Angie is in Taylor's Falls, one of the greatest cities in Minnesota. Angie, welcome to Card DeSharks. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very well, thank you. I'm very excited to be able to play tonight.
I love Taylor's Falls. Is it as nice if you live in Taylor's Falls as it is to visit?
Well, I'm on my way to Wisconsin to my cabin. I live in the Anoka area, and I have a cabin in Luck, Wisconsin. So I'm just passing through myself right now.
You're in
very
Luck.
lovely.
You're in Luck, Wisconsin. I have a friend who has a cabin in Luck, Wisconsin as well. It's beautiful.
Me too.
Yes, nice.
Neither of us are lucky enough to have our own,
we're
but
not.
yeah.
We have friends.
Angie, cabin weekend, like what does it look like for you? Do you unplug from work because you're at a different spot? Are you off the phone and in like nature more, or is it just a change of location for you?
It's a combination of change of location and being able to work at my own pace.
Outstanding. Outstanding. All right, stand by. Angie, you are going to play against Keith, who is in Minneapolis. Hi, Keith.
Whoop, whoop, let's go. Hi.
Whoop, whoop. I like it. I like it. We have a very strange weekend ahead of us with this super windy weather today, windy again tomorrow, and then Sunday at my apartment building in St. Paul, which I'm not going to lie, with all of the roads closed and all the stuff going on tomorrow, we're going to maybe spend the day in Minneapolis. I'm like, good for everybody going to the No Kings rally. Have a good time, but I don't need 100,000 people in my front yard. But it's going to be an interesting weekend. Sunday, 66, almost 70.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good.
Beautiful.
All right, Angie and Keith.
Yep, it should be a gorge.
Indeed. Here's how we play. We start with a survey of 100 people. Angie gets to answer first with a number between 0 and 100. Keith will say higher or lower. And then off we go to the cards, which have been shuffled and dealt out right behind Laura. If you want to watch Card DeSharks, it's kind of fun to watch it on YouTube at the WCCO radio channel, where I'm always editing together videos from our show as well. So if you miss a segment, you can catch the ones that I felt didn't embarrass me completely.
And Card DeSharks is riveting.
Oh, the drama.
The feed is just, you can't even believe it.
It's better on, it's fine on the radio. It's better on the video. Angie, the first question goes to you, and it's about milk. And Angie, are you a milk drinker?
I'm not, no.
I feel like there was a stage of my life where my kids were drinking so much milk that I was at the store a couple times a week.
Mm-hmm.
We even had a milkman deliver it in like glass jugs for a while.
Yeah.
We were pretty granola.
That's fancy.
In the early days, my wife was trying to be all organic and everything. They did a survey of Americans about milk and milk alternative. So like the soy milk or whatever. How many people said, I drink milk every day? This is a survey of a survey of 100 adults. How many adults said, I drink milk or a milk alternative every day? What do you think, Angie?
Okay. So milk or like an alternative like soy milk or coconut milk.
Yep. About how often do you drink milk or milk alternatives? How many said every day?
I'm going to say 45%.
45, says Angie. Keith, are you a milk drinker?
I love milk, yep. And we used to get that delivery when I was a child, too, back, out in Eden Prairie, the milkman would come.
Hard to find a service that'll do that anymore, but
I don't think it exists.
Yeah. Angie said 45 say they drink milk every day. Do you think the actual number is higher or lower?
I would have thought I'm sure it's gone down since those days. But But when you add soy milk and things like that, I think there's a good percentage there doing that. So I'm gonna say higher.
All right. The actual number of adults who said they drink milk every day is 25. It's much lower. Another 38 said a few times a week. So people are drinking it, but yeah, the daily drinker.
Not every day.
So much lower. So much lower. So that's good news for you, Angie. You get to decide if you want the red or the blue cards. What do you say?
Red for me.
All right, Angie picks the red cards. Laura flips over the first card, and it is a 3. Very good start. Do you want to go higher or lower than the 3?
I'll say higher.
Gotta go higher. Higher than a 3, it is an 8. It is higher. And, that middle card coming at you right off the bat, Angie. You can freeze if you want, and that locks out your opponent in case you choose incorrectly. But, or you can go for it and have some fun. What do you think? Higher, lower, or freeze?
I'm going to go for it.
All right, I like it. What do you say, higher or lower?
I'm going to say higher.
Higher than an 8, it is a 9. It is higher. A little gamble pays off for you, and now there are only 2 cards to go separating you from victory. When you freeze, if you get the next question right, you do get the chance to change the card. But, you're feeling hot. What do you say? Higher, lower, or freeze on that 9?
I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to go lower.
Angie says lower. We will find out if it's lower in just a minute. Just a minute. Car DeSharks taking a quick break. Before we go to break, a little breaking news. You heard during Chad's show that Tiger Woods was involved in a rollover car crash. Within the last couple of minutes, we learned that Tiger Woods was arrested for DUI after that crash in Florida. Seems to be a theme of our news today, as we had a state legislator and a candidate for state auditor arrested here. But Tiger Woods, sad, frustrating, angering, all of those emotions. But we'll update you at the top of the hour, and Newsroom's on it too. But that news just coming in that Tiger Woods was arrested for DUI after that. Was that an early morning crash, Laura?
No, it was not too many hours ago. He was not hurt.
1 in the afternoon. Our time.
1 in the afternoon. Okay, very good. 4:19, Car DeSharks back in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, Jason here for your one-stop shop for unbelievable men's clothing, and that is J.H. & Sons at the Galleria. It's Jason here for the awesome team at J.H. & Sons. I was over at the Galleria just the other day, just this week, and I got to tell you, you've got to get to the store because J.H. & Sons has so much new spring clothing in stock. And we're talking, yes, men's suiting, like if you're looking for a linen suit or something a little lighter weight or lighter colors or brighter colors for the summer. Oh, it's time to get to J.H. & Sons. But I was impressed with some of the new lines that they've brought in for polo shirts. And sort of, I got to tell you, if you or your guy is still wearing like the golf style polo shirt, you have got to get to J.H. & Sons because there are so many great options with sort of like sweater textures, different sort of shapes, different colors. You can look really put together very easily. And the team at JH will help you out. Kevin and Bryce and Chuck, I was talking with all of them. It's just great to see them, and you're going to love them. Get to the Galleria in Edina. Sign up for their email list so you'll know when they get new clothing lines in as well. jhandsons.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
When you're in pain, you need the Good Feet store. Don't waste another minute suffering from foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. You might feel the difference immediately.
I walked right into the Good Feet store and I tried the Good Feet Arch Support System, and my hip pain is gone.
The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to put your foot in the most ideal position, redistributing the body weight more evenly, helping to relieve pain and stress in the body.
That nagging pain in my lower back, gone.
The Good Feet store has over 300 150 styles and sizes to relieve your pain.
I've always had bad knees. I've had 6 surgeries, and I could never do a knee bend. Now I'm working out, and it's just wonderful.
Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
So when do you need to start thinking about a will? Find out at GutmanLaw.com. What is a living trust, and do you need this? Find out at GutmanLaw.com. What about a power of attorney or probate? We'll get all the answers to your questions when you schedule a free attorney consultation at, GutmanLaw.com. It's Jordana, and I didn't know the first thing about wills, living trusts, estate planning, but I didn't need to. All I did was reach out to my friend Matt Gutman and his partner Jamie Ref Wagner. This is their focus: wills, trust, probate, estate plans. Now knowing that my loved ones will be taken care of no matter what helps me sleep at night. Don't wait until it's too late to get these things taken care of. You can schedule a free, no-hassle consultation right on the website. Say it with me, GutmanLaw.com. GutmanLaw.com, giving you peace of mind today for tomorrow. It's not just a slogan. I sleep better at night now that I have my estate plan in place. Thanks to Matt Gutman and Jamie.
During Lowe's Pro Savings Days, the job works in your favor. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members buy more and save more on materials they rely on every day. Get up to 25% off select molding when you spend $1,000 or more, and up to 25% off Pergo Evercraft laminate flooring. Put Pro Savings Days to work for you. Members get more at Lowe's. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit the Pro Desk or Lowes.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH.
It's okay to be skeptical and cynical about this. I think that's part of the deal, but it's also okay to have fun.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
DeSharks in effect. We've got two great contestants with us. Angie, who is from Anoka, on her way to the cabin in Wisconsin, and Keith in Minneapolis. Angie got the first question and got control of the cards, and she's a gambler. I like it, Angie. I don't know how Keith feels about it so far, but you have flipped over two cards. You started on a 3, called an 8, went higher and got a 9. And now you're on that 9, and we're all in agreement. You said lower than the 9, right?
Yep.
All right. Laura's going to flip it. Lower than a 9? It is. It's a 4. And oh, my goodness. Is this go time? Is this it? One card separates you and victory, and $50 to any of the Jester Concepts restaurants, including Rustica. Had a meeting at Rustica just the other morning. Coffee, beautiful pastries, good stuff. Angie,
Keith is getting upset.
I know, now Keith is getting upset. Keith is like, I sat through all these commercials, and Angie is just going to destroy me on this one flip. Angie, you got the 4. What do you want to do, higher or lower than the 4?
Well, Keith, I hate to disappoint you, but I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to go higher.
Higher than a 4.
I
it
think
is.
You would do that.
It's an 8, and you did it. You did, even with Angie. You got a bunch of crummy cards too, but you just powered through it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was impressive.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
Sorry, Keith.
I know, Keith, you sort of got hosed here. As always, if you don't get a chance to go to the cards, we give you a free shot. If you can run the table, you will get the gift card as well. So let's see what you can do here, Keith. You got a king, higher or lower?
Well, if she can do it, I'm going to give it a go, too. I'm going to go lower.
All right, lower than a king. It is a 10. It is lower. Now call that 10, Keith, higher or lower?
Yep. Well, that's a player's card, but I'm gonna go lower.
Lower than the 10. It's an 8.
Way to go, Keith.
Keith is
There you go.
cooking. Two more to go.
Just sitting there right in the middle.
I know the coin flip card. What do you say?
Yep. All right, let's bring in a face card.
Higher than an 8. Oh, it's a 6, and that's where it goes.
That's a burn.
That is a burn.
Yep.
Keith, you were awesome. Thanks for playing and listening, and call again.
All right, keep the fires burning.
Indeed. There he goes. Keith in Minneapolis. Angie, you're going to stay on the line. You're going to get $50 at any of the Jester Concepts restaurants. You got your parlor. You've got, let's see, you're in Anoka. I don't know. What's the move for you? Butcher and the Boar in the North Loop, Burro, Parlor. Lots of good options for you, Angie.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Fantastic.
Stay on the line. Dan will get all of your information, and thanks for listening. Have a great weekend at the cabin. There she goes.
That was a heck of a performance.
That's pretty
I
good.
mean, that's probably like top 5, top 3 maybe.
I do think
all-time performances.
Our contestants are getting a little wiser to just gambling. They're just going for it.
Yeah, I like that.
I think it's smart strategy-wise because there's no guarantee that you're going to get another crack at the cards.
I mean, it may be smart strategy-wise, but it does mess with our timing.
That's true. Dan starts waving frenetically.
We got a break.
We got to take a break.
Maybe we should put the board all the way across the room, and then I have to walk back
You have to
and
run
forth
to
and
it.
waste some time.
Exactly. Laura,
Build the drama. Not waste time. Build the drama.
The anticipation.
That's what we're
exactly
doing.
Right. Laura, thank you. Appreciate it. We're going to break. In a minute, we're going to talk about local city councils dealing with international issues. Minneapolis City Council sort of broke into chaos because I think a lot of these guys hate each other on the city council. But I don't necessarily have a problem with city councils taking on national or international issues. But that necessarily is doing a lot of work. And I'll explain what I'm thinking. I welcome your feedback, too, at 651-461-9226. Drive Time, back in a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO. Where Minnesota checks in.
I listen to your show all the time. Would never think that I'd call in. Buckle up, Buttercups. That's all I'm going to say.
And chimes in.
Yes, I'm a Republican. Yes, I voted for him. Yes, he's an idiot.
It's your turn.
How is any of this okay or legal?
Join the conversation.
It's all about distraction. Duh. That really makes me upset.
Add your voice to the mix. The CCO talk and text line 651-461-9226.
Who doesn't want to sleep better? March is Better Sleep Month, and the answer to better sleep is found at minileaf.com. Jordana Green here, and Mini Leaf has your answer to sleeping all night long, going to sleep faster, and waking up feeling more refreshed and rested. At minileaf.com, you'll find the Sleep Night Gummies and the Sleep Night Gummies Plus. The Sleep Night Gummies have been discounted $5 on the website for March. The folks at Mini Leaf really want you to sleep better. Now, this is one of my favorite products, those Sleep Night Gummies. I give them out to friends or anybody who tells me that they're having trouble sleeping because I know they really work. I use them when I feel like I might have a restless night, but they're also non-addictive, so I don't need them every night. Please try for yourself. You'll thank me. Minileaf.com, Minnesota's home of its best legal products and the home for better sleep. Minileaf.com. Tell them Jordana sent you.
Imagine placing an investment or trade without fear. Knowing that big institutions have taken the same trade as you, pushing the price higher, which only they can do. You get to ride the wave of institutional demand. If not, your plan will protect you from the downside. This is how our students are taught to invest in trade. Right now, you can sign up for a free investing class where we'll outline our strategy for following the smart money. Text investing to 210-210. We'll also review strategies for growing a retirement portfolio, how professionals profit when stocks are falling, and how to protect your investments against inflation. With a 25-year history, local classrooms, and one-on-one support, you're not alone. And now it's your turn. Sign up for a free investing class today. Text investing to 210 or go to learnwithota.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-284-1238. 800-284-1238. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-284-1238.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here. Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring. Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
I wanted a new color printer to add pizzazz to my prints.
Ooh, pizzazz can be pricey.
Well, now at Staples, you get up to 30% off select HP printers.
30% off at HP?
Yeah, I saved $120 on an HP Smart Tank 6001 with up to 3 years of ink included.
Why, that could be the last printer you'll ever need.
Could be.
Shop your local Staples today for big savings on HP.
That was easy.
Available in-store, online, or on the app. It's 4 exclusions apply.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Multi-car crash in place for eastbound 94 near Zane Avenue. Activity off to both sides of the highway has you slowing back at Boone Avenue. 35E northbound eastbound 694 ramp remains closed because of a rollover accident toward the end of the ramp. It's also affecting 694 eastbound because traffic is down basically to a single lane as you move past the rollover with a backup that begins back at Victoria Street. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Washburn-McCreevy Funeral Chapels and Cremation Services has been providing compassionate and personalized service for over 160 years. Honor your loved one and ensure your own wishes are met. Call 612-377-2203 or visit washburnmccreevy.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Washburn McCreevy Funeral, Cremation, and Pre-Planning Services bring us a forecast from our friend Chris Schaefer.
We chill again tonight with a clear sky, falling back to 24. At least the wind will settle down. It's going to amp up again tomorrow from the southwest, 15 to 25 miles per hour. We'll have the sunshine, though, and it's a warm wind, taking us up to 58 for a high. Not windy Sunday, plenty of sunshine, and a high of 66.
32 degrees in St. Paul, but the wind blowing at 22 miles an hour. It feels like it's 19 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH, video streaming live on YouTube and always, and I mean always, on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
I cry my eyes violet, Elizabeth Taylor. Tell me for real, do you think it's forever?
Freshening up some of our bumper music here. The real game for you is to figure out which songs I asked for to be in the show. I love this song. I like this song right when the Taylor Swift Showgirl album came out. And now this is being released as a single. Like, that shows you like how many bangers were in that release, which I didn't like it on first listen. This happens a lot, right? Like, we stream something, the expectations are high, and then you're like, I don't know, it's all right. And then you go back and you're like, yeah, that's pretty good. Sort of a lesson here, maybe, about snap judgments. I don't know. Probably not. Snap judgments are the hallmark of our city councils. And do you care where your local city council is on the United States blockade of Cuba, for example. Would you like to know how the Blaine City Council feels about European financial institutions investing in companies that contract with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security? I'm going to guess that most of us don't elect our local city council members to take on national or international issues. But I also am not particularly bothered by it if these guys want to play college political science class and debate out these issues and be on the record where they feel about global stuff. I don't care. It does not bother me, so long as they're taking care of other things in their community. I really don't care. I do think most of the outrage that is being channeled towards the Minneapolis City Council after their meeting yesterday fell into chaos during a debate over global politics. The reason that people are freaking out about this is because A, they don't like the Democratic Socialists. B, they don't like Democrats. C, they don't like Minneapolis. D, the city of Minneapolis has a government that feels like it's not doing anything. A, B, C, D. Lots of valid reasons. Well, some invalid, some valid reasons why people are freaking out about this. What I'm saying is, alone, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Does it matter what the Minneapolis City Council has to say about normalizing relationships with Cuba? No, it doesn't. But does it matter if today is named National, what did the governor declare today? Blanket Lady Day, after the fan who is the fan of the Golden Gophers women's basketball game. Who cares about that? So government does stuff all the time that is goofy or symbolic or unimportant. The problem is when it feels like the only thing they're doing is the goofy, the symbolic, the unimportant. And that is the problem with the Minneapolis City Council. I am not offended by the city council having a debate about normalizing relations with Cuba. I really am not. I am bothered by the fact that you still have a police precinct on Lake Street that has not been cleaned up and rebuilt. I am bothered that 5 years, almost 6 years, after the murder of George Floyd, that part of our city has been left to fall apart. I am bothered that car thefts in the first couple months here in Minneapolis have exploded. And so when the city is looking at property values in the downtown commercial core falling in the tank, the tax burden going up on residents, no real vision, as far as I can tell, about how to grow jobs, grow the tax base, keep people safer, get more cops hired so they can fulfill their obligation as set up in the city charter. Well, yeah, then if you're wasting your time talking about Cuba, you look like a bunch of idiots. When you can't have debate without calling each other names, using profanity, it's embarrassing. We have some audio. I'm going to play just a little bit of what happened. And you get the frustration because there are two wings of the city council. They're all liberal Democrats. But despite the fact that some in Minneapolis want to pretend that, like, Jacob Fry and people who are allied with him are Republicans, I mean, by comparison, yeah, like the debate between I don't know how you want to call it, more mainstream Democrats. But you have Democrats and you have Democratic socialists. And the debates are as harsh as you see in the U.S. Congress between Republicans and Democrats. For me, the frustration is that they're screwing around while the city is dithering. And listen to some of this and tell me if this makes you feel better about anything in Minneapolis.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's not hurtful when I'm talking and people are laughing and making remarks. Maybe it's not on this specific one, but it happens constantly. When I'm chairing a meeting and someone calls me a child, and I'm just doing a direct quote.
That was said was one conversation at a time.
We get to vote the way that we want to, and she doesn't get to monitor what I say and how I say.
So, two different clips. First was Orrin Chowdhury, who was speaking in favor of this, kind of supporting a bunch of Minneapolis residents who are going to Europe to urge financial institutions to divest from all major contractors that work for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and ICE. Now, do I care about this in any way, shape, or form? No. No. Is it inappropriate for the city council in Minneapolis to take on a resolution supporting Minneapolis residents who are going to engage in activism in Europe? I don't think it's inappropriate at all. But it is. So I bet I disagree with most of you. I do not find this in and of itself to be bothersome. It's fine. There's city council meeting. These people are full-time employees. They can spend an hour arguing about this. If that's what they want to do, fine. Where it becomes problematic is this perception that this is all you're doing. And there's no positive vision as to where we're taking the city. I was defending the city council member who went to Cuba, saying that you're allowed to go to Cuba. That acting like, oh my gosh, who it was Aisha Chugtai who went to Cuba. And people who don't like Aisha Chugtai are like, oh my gosh, like there was a meeting about crime in Uptown and she was in Cuba. Okay. Like, give me a break. Like, you can go to Cuba and also miss a meeting. But the problem is when you're not doing the other stuff, right?
You hit on the word, and it's politics perception is everything. And if people aren't happy with the job that you're doing, then when you mess around with stuff that doesn't seem central to the job they elected you to do, that's a problem. Aisha Chugtai represents the uptown area of Minneapolis. So it's not just any meeting she's missing. It's a meeting specifically dealing with her area. And that should be perceived by the people that live there as rather important, where maybe her trip to Cuba didn't seem quite so important to them. So I don't blame them for, if
they care about it, but it's mostly people who don't live in Minneapolis.
Right. No, there's always that nonsense. Right. I don't, fine, whatever. But my point is that, you're nailing it, that when you're not getting the stuff that needs to get done, then this extraneous stuff looks like a diversion, a distraction, a waste of time and space.
I think that's right.
We can walk and chew gum at the same time, and so can the city council. They just apparently choose not to, and that's the problem.
I think that's right. 651-461-9226. Jason, the problem is they're not taking care of business. That's exactly it. Businesses are leaving Minneapolis, and they're rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. I would like to see this. Look, back during the mayoral campaign, I raised concerns about whether Jacob Frey should run again, because Jacob Frey's main argument has been that he is the adult in the room. And to me, that is not a real positive vision for what the future of Minneapolis is. Just saying that, like, the people of Minneapolis are electing some goofballs, and so, like, I'm here to veto the goofiness. to me like, I don't know, like 4 years of fighting. Part of me thinks that the people want to send DSA elected officials to the city council, and maybe that's what the people want. But then in the election, the people voted for Jacob Fry, and they voted for DSA elected officials in the city council. So part of the deal is that, look, if you're me and you're more moderate and more centrist, I want you to fill the potholes. I want you to deal with city business. I don't care about any of this other stuff. That said, if you're 28 or 33, maybe you do want your elected, not maybe, you do. You do want your elected officials to weigh in on this stuff. And so what I'm saying is I will give you that. I will give you that. I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm not going to get sucked in by the outrage meters, the outrage stokers who want us all to be pissed off because why is the city council talking about Cuba? Who cares? They can talk about other stuff. The problem is that the personality conflicts are so disastrous in that city council that there's a lack of respect for each other. There is an age difference and a generation difference. And look, I'm more aligned with the old people. Okay, I am. That's where my personal beliefs are. But I also am acknowledging that the electorate has changed. The voters are in a different spot. And so, fine. I suppose what I'm asking for is all of these elected officials to act like adults and be more civil to each other. And so Michael Rainville, for example, is the elected official for much of downtown Minneapolis. And he was irritated during this sort of debate over global politics. Because Michael Rainville, I think, has a similar sort of ethos that I do. That we should be worried about making sure the streetlights work. We should be protecting people from getting their cars stolen, and we should be filling potholes. And we should do those things first and then move on to the next level and then move on to the next level. That said, you don't get to call your colleagues effing children. You don't. If you want to be the adult in the room, grow up. And to the city council members who want to talk about global politics, go ahead, and could we get some progress on some of these other factors? Your comments always welcome. 651-461-9226. Drive Time back in just a minute.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Man, this would be a great weekend for some Minnesota pork, don't you think? It's Jason here for our friends at the Minnesota Pork Board who are inviting you to taste what pork can do. The website is easy to get to, tastewhatporkcando.com. Put flavor on the table. I had some hardcore pulled pork flavor at Q Barbecue, right in Roseville, right on the border of Roseville and St. Paul last night for dinner. And, ooh, boy, you put that pork butt on the smoker. And I like to say pork butt. I know, like, the pork farmers want to call it pork shoulder. You can call it shoulder. You can call it pork butt, but smoked butt is delicious. Q Barbecue is doing it right. This weekend would be a perfect weekend for you to fire up the smoker, fire up the grill. They're firing up the grills at our apartment complex this weekend outside, so I can maybe fire up a nice pork chop. Need some inspiration? Go to tastewhatporkcando.com, but most importantly, just go to your grocery store, your butcher shop, and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner this weekend. Oh, yeah.
Spring cleaning is upon us, but there's one meaningful box that you don't throw away when cleaning out your closet. It's the box filled with your family's important videotapes, film reels, and photos. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago to help families organize and update their analog media to digital.
Legacy Box is simple and easy. It works and is safe. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box.
And Legacy Box has been featured in Good Housekeeping, The Today Show, and Rachel Ray.
Legacy Box is like magic, converting your shoebox of memories to the cloud or thumb drive, ready to watch and share.
Declutter your closet by digitizing your media. Become more organized and accomplished, knowing your family's recorded past is safe forever. Take advantage of our spring cleaning sale going on now. It's the easiest task to check off your to-do list.
For a limited time, you can get started for just $9 a tape. Visit legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 offer. Legacybox.com/radio.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enables buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
If it's 5:21, I do.
Let me check my watch.
Not the time, silly. I'm talking about Barufka's 521 swivel glider chair. Our guests have fallen in love with its cozy embrace and effortless movement. The 521 creates a calming retreat in any room.
Featuring plush, high-density, high-resiliency seat foam, a solid maple hardwood frame, and a steel spring unit for consistent, long-term support.
With over 500 fabric and leather choices, our design team will help you put it all together.
Constructed in Indiana, the 521 swivel glider chair is Craftsman Direct priced from $1927 or $81 a month for 24 months. So whether it's 6 a.m., noon, or 11 at night, you'll fall in love with 521.
Oh, Jim. Barufka's. No gimmicks, haggling, or hard-to-understand pricing. In Woodbury, Burnsville, and Minnetonka.
Decidedly worth your time.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And the rollover crash continues to slow you down. 694 eastbound just past 35E. Look for the right two lanes to be affected. It is stop and go as you come away from Snelling Avenue. North 35E to East 694. Ramp is closed until the crash is cleared out. Highway 36 eastbound watching slowdowns there. Cleveland Avenue over to Rice Street. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Super windy out there. Red flag warning in effect from now until 7 p.m. tomorrow. Tonight, 24 is the low. Tomorrow, high of 58, winds 15 to 25 miles an hour. Sunday looks great, high of 66. Right now in downtown Minneapolis, it is 24 degrees on CCO.
Jason DeRUSH.
You never know on this show, yes.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Let's give you a Continental Diamond time check. ContinentalDiamond.com is the website. The time is 4:55. Continental Diamond in St. Louis Park. They have in-house watch repair experts. Very rare at a local jeweler. You have a beautiful luxury watch. You want it serviced? Don't put it in the mail. Put it in St. Louis Park at Continental Diamond. A thank you to our local TSA agents. We're once again in Minneapolis at the airport. No lines, no issues. Spring break has been a spring delight for local people trying to get through our awesome airport. What I love about our TSA agents here is that they're showing up. It's tough. Today there was a compromise put forth by the Senate. They passed out a plan that would pay the TSA. And the House called it a joke. and did not even take it up. The president said he's going to go around the Congress and start paying these TSA agents. We'll see. Today they miss their second paycheck. And so we've invited you to say thank you.
Hello to all of you amazing, wonderful Minnesotan and TSA agents out there. With a trip coming up next month, I was scared when I saw the news of what was happening with airports all over the country. Until I saw and heard about the amazing job you all kept doing. My mind was put at ease and my fear gone, thanks to all of you lovely people. When I come through for my trip next month, I know I won't have to be afraid. I won't be scared, thanks to all of you. And I'm sure that goes for many, many others too. Keep up the awesome work, and thank you so, so much.
Is that cool? That came from Jade, who emailed that voice message to us at jason@Audacy, AUDACY.com. You can DM me on any of the social medias. My DMs are open. Or you can send us a voice message thanking a TSA agent. If you use the Audacy app right where you listen live to WCCO, you can send that message in.
We flew out of Minneapolis Sunday. Everyone was fabulous. Went to Vegas. Everyone was fabulous. Came home. No lines in Vegas or Minnesota. And everybody was very kind, and we thank them profusely.
Isn't that cool? That's from Julie using the Audacy app. So great stuff. Just a little way to say thank you here from Drive Time with DeRUSH. CBS News and DeRUSH Hour coming up.
Twin City Framers is the industry leader building the largest wood frame projects in town, and they have immediate openings for carpenters. Here's the deal. Large multifamily carpentry pays an average of $5 an hour more than single-family homes. This is your opportunity to work for the best of the business and make more money today. If you're a carpenter or know someone looking for better pay, better hours, great benefits, and on-the-job training, then look no further. Go online to TwinCityFramers.com and apply for an immediate position today. That's TwinCityFramers.com.
Camping season is right around the corner, and Forest River RV by Camping World is clearing out hundreds of overstocked RVs with rock-bottom pricing for immediate delivery. To celebrate, Saturday, April 4th from 11 to 1, PT from 1029 The Wolf will be live at Forest River RV by Camping World. Stop by for your chance to win Morgan Wallen tickets. Plus, grab some mouth-watering Texas-style barbecue, catered by Dickies of Egan. Forest River RV by Camping World, just off 35 North in Hugo.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I opened a restaurant and needed everything. Menus, signage, catering brochures.
Everything and then some.
I went to Staples. They printed it all and even suggested takeout menus.
One money pit with a side of fries.
But now at Staples, you get up to $125 off custom print orders.
$125 off. Now you're cooking. Brand your business in a big way at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in store, online, or in the app by 4/18 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
When it happens there, you'll hear about it here. News Talk 830 WCCO.
1029 HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Streaming live via the Odyssey and iHeartRadio apps.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Tiger Woods is in police custody for at least a few more hours after being arrested at a car crash scene in Jupiter, Florida. Details from CBS's Heather Bosch.
Tiger Woods' Land Rover clipped the back of a trailer and rolled on its side. Martin County Sheriff John Budenseek says no one was injured, but
Mr. Woods did exemplify signs of impairment.
According to investigators,
They believe from on scene that he was not impaired on alcohol. They believe it was some type of medication or drug.
Woods blew zeros on a breathalyzer test. He was arrested on suspicion of DUI, property damage, and refusing to submit to a urine test. Heather Bosch, CBS News.
President Trump has signed a memorandum to restart pay for TSA officers and employees who have continued to work without compensation during the funding lapse for the Department of Homeland Security. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi with more.
Some estimates say it's going to happen as soon as Monday. We know the president has been directing the Department of Homeland Security to try to get those funds expedited, get them back in the hands of those TSA agents.
Calling the Senate-passed DHS funding bill a joke, House Speaker Mike Johnson comes up with another option. CBS's Natalie Brand explains.
The House Speaker says he's proposing a 60-day continuing resolution to fund all of DHS, including ICE, instead of the Senate deal.
I spoke to the president a few moments ago. He understands exactly what we're doing and why, and he supports it.
House Democrats say that's a non-starter without reforms to immigration enforcement.
House GOP leaders have notified members that votes are expected tonight after the Rules Committee finishes its work. President Trump appears confident that Iran will accept a framework for a peace deal that could end the war with Iran.
They are talking. We are talking now. They want to make a deal. Very simply, our military is the greatest in the world by far. Iran is being decimated.
The Iranian ambassador to the United Nations says Tehran has agreed to facilitate and expedite humanitarian aid through the Strait of Hormuz. CBS's Jim Krasula reports on an admission of guilt in a child exploitation case.
A 26-year-old man from Texas who is in federal custody in Los Angeles has pleaded guilty to leading an internet-based child exploitation group that groomed children into producing child sexual abuse material. Caleb Christopher Merritt of Spring, Texas, also admitted being part of a neo-Nazi group.
Wall Street drops again to close its fifth straight losing week and its worst since the Iran war. The Dow and S&P 500 closed down more than 1.5%. The Nasdaq tumbled over 2%. This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world.
I'm Tony.
There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers.
How are you?
I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Cloudy, windy, 31 degrees at 5:03. I'm Laura Oakes. Vice President J.D. Vance holding the first meeting of a new federal anti-fraud task force prompted by the misuse of federal dollars within some Minnesota social services programs. Vance says for decades, the federal government has not taken the issue of fraud seriously, and it needs to be tackled with what he calls a whole government approach.
This is not just theft of the American people's money. This is also theft of critical services that the American people rely on.
President Trump has made a crackdown on fraud a big focus as voters have said they're concerned about affordability ahead of the November midterm elections. The youngest member of the Minnesota State Legislature has been arrested for suspected DWI in White Bear Lake.
27-year-old Minnesota State Representative Elliott Engen was taken into custody early Friday morning after a traffic stop for speeding and equipment violations. Police say Engen had a .13 blood alcohol level at the time of his arrest. Following his booking at the Ramsey County Adult Detention Center on a fourth-degree DWI charge, he was released from local custody. The case now moves to the city's prosecuting attorney to determine the next steps for formal legal proceedings.
That's WCCO's Taylor Rivera. In a post on X today, Engen says he is deeply sorry. Engen is also a candidate for state auditor. It's not clear if he'll face any punishment from House leadership or if his campaign may be affected. MnDOT announcing Highway 280 on the border of Minneapolis and St. Paul will close for 4 months pretty soon. Crews will be making safety improvements and repairing the road surface and bridges. The closures start April 13th. The road will reopen in August in time for busy state fair traffic. National Weather Service issuing a red flag warning for fire danger across most of Minnesota tomorrow. Meteorologist Brennan Detman says we're hitting the time of year when warmer temps, high winds, and dried out vegetation all come into play.
And that combined with lower relative humidities, close to about 15 to 25% relative humidity, very dry conditions, will allow for, should any fires form, for that to spread quickly.
Detman says areas of the state experiencing drought conditions are most at risk. The red flag warning takes effect at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's the news Timberwolves fans have been waiting for. Anthony Edwards has been cleared for practice after missing the last 5 games with a knee injury. The Wolves are 5th in the Western Conference. They'll host Detroit tomorrow afternoon at Target Center. And March Madness continues tonight when the Gopher women's basketball team takes on UCLA in the Sweet 16. The Bruins will be a handful, though, as they have one of the best players in the country. She is 6'7" center Lauren Betts. Gophers head coach Dawn Plitzowite.
There's ball screen roll scenarios, handoff roll scenarios, post-up scenarios. Do you double? When do you double? Do you dig? Do you get back out? How do you rotate? Those type of things. Then when you're in rotation, how do you keep her off the glass? How do you keep her off the glass when you're not in rotation? Then keep her off the glass when you are in rotation. And then there's the defensive side of the ball.
Tip-off is at 6:30. WCCO News Time is 5:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Work still continues to clear the truck that rolled over 694 eastbound just past 35E. The vehicle's back on its wheels, but still plenty of work to do yet. Traffic is backed up toward Lexington Avenue. If you're going to reach out on North 35E, the ramp to East 694, that does remain closed. That will remain closed until the crash itself is cleared out of the way. 35W northbound, not a bad ride. Highway 36 to Highway 10. And 494 northbound looking good as you come up from Highway 62 all the way up to Highway 55. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Business moves fast. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by USPS Ground Advantage. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
After a cold day, we're in for a chilly night tonight, falling back to the mid-20s with a clear sky. At least the wind will back off temporarily. It picks up again tomorrow, this time from the southwest, 15 to 25 miles per hour. We'll keep the sunshine, and it will be warm with a high near 58. Sunday, the nicer weekend day, partly cloudy, not as windy with a high of 66.
Cloudy and breezy right now, 31 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Where complicated stories meet clear thinking. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRUSH. Once again, here's Jason DeRUSH.
Laura and I are just exchanging strategy for... It's going to be a busy day in St. Paul tomorrow.
Yes. Plan accordingly.
Yeah, like, I know a lot of people, like, whatever, if you... I'm not advocating for no kings or... I mean, generally, I'm anti-king.
Shut up and drive.
Generally speaking. But if people want to go to the rally tomorrow, look, whatever your view on the president or... It is fascinating that the center of the national activity is going to be at the Capitol in St. Paul tomorrow.
They're calling it the flagship No Kings rally for the country.
And like all sorts of, you got your Bernie Sanders and Joan Baez. It's like if you were a 1960s hippie, like this is your Super Bowl, right? You got Bruce Springsteen, Joan Baez, Bernie Sanders.
You know what entered my mind? Because I'm such a Bob Dylan fan. Like, I wonder when Joan Baez is in the house, knowing he's also around somewhere if he's not on his bus somewhere. You always wonder, like, would they still ever get together? Or even just for coffee or even just like a little visit. I always wonder that.
It is funny when you're like a massive cultural figure.
Yes.
You still like probably do normal stuff.
Yes. Yes,
but it is funny to think about, like, Joan Baez setting up a coffee meeting.
Exactly. Right.
I'm sure obviously it happens, but it is just a hilarious thing to think about. Well, I will be, obviously there are going to be a lot of road closures, and all of this is tomorrow afternoon.
Well, the marches start, I'm not sure exactly when they start yet, but the rally itself at the Capitol with all three of these marches converging starts at 2 o'clock.
So there's one march that starts at St. Paul College, one at Harriet Island, which, by the way, can I just say, St. Paul College, underrated, amazing institution.
Charlie had a couple of friends that went there. Good place.
They have I do like a fundraiser with them every year for their culinary program.
Yeah.
And it's one of the last places left where people can train to be chefs and restaurant management and all of that in Minnesota.
Cool.
Pretty cool stuff. But one starts there. Yeah, so it's going to all convert. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I have dinner plans in St. Paul tomorrow night. I think it's going to be fine.
Sure
also, like, welcome to St. Paul.
Yes.
Everybody's coming.
It's a good thing.
Don't you also, like, if you could buy, a soda somewhere, buy
Yes.
yourself a burger. Like, let's help the economy a little bit,
Former St. Paul Police Chief Todd Axtell, who now has his
Oh, yeah.
own private security firm, was on with Vanita this morning, and he was talking about how this is a great opportunity for local businesses in St. Paul to make some money, to get some exposure, to hopefully have some of these 100,000 people visit their establishments, which would be great.
It would be great.
Yeah.
Like, if you are planning to do it, like, it would be nice to not just make it like a flyby.
In and
You
out.
come in and out. Like, go spend a couple bucks.
Have some lunch.
Have some lunch. That's right. Thanks, Laura.
You bet.
Appreciate it. You could have brunch. Go in the morning. Have a nice Mickey's Diner. I bet it'll be very busy for sure. It is 5:11. It is time to bring you up to date. You heard the breaking news at the top of the hour. A little more about Tiger Woods in the DeRUSH Hour News headlines.
The headlines you might have missed without missing a beat. This is your fast pass through the biggest and most impactful stories of the day. Welcome to the DeRUSH Hour headlines, starting with the lead.
Tiger Woods is in jail right now. That is the lead story we're keeping an eye on. Breaking news this afternoon, where Tiger Woods was arrested near his home in Florida after speeding down a street, clipping a car, and rolling his Range Rover over. This happened at 1 p.m. Minnesota time, 2 p.m. there. The newest information from local officials is that when he blew the breathalyzer, he blew a 0.00%. The sheriff believes he was not under the influence of alcohol, but rather medication. He did refuse a urine test at the station. And in Florida, every state has sort of different laws if you refuse to submit to a urinalysis. Is that right? Is that how you say it? Urinalysis? Urine analysis? I don't know. So he's booked on DUI. He'll have to spend a minimum of 8 hours in the clink. But this is such a tough situation, right? And the sheriff noted that Tiger Woods explained that, and we know he's had like some massive surgeries. I'm sure he's on all sorts of medication. And in 2017, when he was arrested for DUI, he later claimed that it was an unexpected reaction to prescribed medication. I'm sure that's what we're going to end up hearing again this time. And the hard thing for Tiger is it's probably true, but also, like, after this happened once, like, he could have been killed. He was in that other crash in California where we'll never really know what happened in that California crash, which was so devastating to him. But because they never tested, they didn't test his blood. They did, so who knows? Was it medication again? You would think after twice, you would be like, you know what, Tig? Like, if I owned that beautiful car, I'd want to drive it too. But there comes a time in life when you hire a driver. It's not that difficult. TSA agents, are they getting paid? It looked like this morning that a deal was happening, that they were going to get paid. And now, well,
I was just kidding. Come on. Come on. You guys know I was just kidding, right?
just kidding. It's hard to tell if they're going to get paid or not. Like, what an absolute cluster, right? Like, I personally am sick and tired of using government employees as pawns in political negotiations. And not that, look, if you're listening and you're a Republican, you are mad at the Democrats. If you're listening and you're a Democrat, you're mad at the Republicans. I'm mad at all of them. I'm mad that there isn't a law that prevents these government shutdowns from being used to garnish people's salary, to hold their pay, make them work for free until we give them back pay. It's garbage. It's crap. Why? Who would want to work for the government knowing that this was not only a possibility, but likely, because our legislative leaders and our political leaders can't get their crap together? House Republicans dismissed a Senate bill as a joke. The House and the Senate. It's like the oldest sibling and the younger brother, right? So the compromise that passed the Senate would have omitted money for immigrations and custom enforcement and border patrol and funded everything else. And the House is saying this is what the Democrats wanted. But what I don't understand about the House move is if the House had passed this through, then they would be able to fund ICE and fund Border Patrol on a simple majority vote. You wouldn't need the Democrats to go along with it like you do in the budget process that's playing out right now. But this is all a political game. The president has said that enough. He's going to just go around it and order that the TSA agents get paid. Homeland Security said, all right. And so they've started the process. A couple hours ago, they said officers should start getting paychecks as early as Monday. Laura and I talked a little bit about what's going on in St. Paul, the No Kings rally that will be going on at the state capitol. Is that what they're going to do? Like all day, just that? All right. I don't want to hear Bruce Springsteen chanting that. Like it's sort of, I feel like we could be a little more clever, right? At noon on Saturday, 3 locations. You're at the Western Sculpture Park, St. Paul College, and Harriet Island Regional Park. They will converge at the Capitol grounds. If you want to attend, get to these locations early. If you want to avoid it, St. Paul Police is saying they are going to start closing Wabasha Street from Harriet Island to the Capitol starting around 11:45, and it'll be closed for an hour. And they'll see, St. Paul Police doing a heck of a job sort of pre-planning for this and having it organized. So, take an Uber or take a bus if you can. Like, that's the best way to avoid it. Mayo Clinic sharing news today that they have received a $75 million gift. Ka-ching is right. This money comes from the Granger family. And I think these are the same guys from, you hear the commercials, right? Like Granger gets it done. They're getting it done. A state-of-the-art logistics facility that will deliver essential resources to care teams in the new clinical buildings that are part of this whole Mayo Clinic Rochester campus that is being built. They call it Bold Forward Unbound, which does make me a little bit feel like I need to go to Mayo Clinic because I'm going to puke. But that's what they call it. It'll open in 2018. So good for the Grangers. Pretty cool. And good for Mayo Clinic. That's a pretty good gift. 75 mil. Not bad. Go Gophers when they play tonight as well. Go for women. Man, my kid goes to USC. I hate UCLA. I think that's how this works, right? So we're cheering for the Gophers for sure tonight. Let's break in just a minute. DeRUSH Hour News headlines. Going in depth, something I've been fascinated with when you're looking at the increase in the price of gasoline right now. What about diesel? Oh, the ripple effects surprised even the business reporter for the New York Times, Emmett Lindner, who joins us next.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hey, what are you guys having for dinner tonight? What are you having for dinner? Pork? I don't know. There are a lot of choices at the grocery store. A lot of different restaurants you could go to. Pork! Man, pork sounds good, doesn't it? I don't know where I got that idea. It's Jason, everybody, for the Minnesota Pork Board. Taste What Pork Can Do. That is the website, tastewhatporkcando.com. And depending on how you want to say it, you might want to say tastewhatporkcando.com. Now, I know that sounds a little bit like a different cut of meat, but look, we're not oinking around here. I'm telling you, you got to get to your butcher shop to your grocery store. Because you got a long weekend ahead of you, and you've got to take care of your family. You got to provide some delicious, delicious dinner. And with the weather warming up on Sunday, it'd be a great day to fire up that smoker. Get some beautiful pork shoulder. How about pork ribs? That sounds fantastic, too. Taste what porkcando.com, 3,000 family farmers, all of whom are currently very puzzled as to what I'm doing. But what I'm doing is telling you to go to the grocery store, the butcher shop, and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner. Oh, yeah.
At Wealth Enhancement, we believe wealth is in the details. Our team of trusted advisors craft personalized solutions to help you achieve your financial goals. Tune in to the Your Money Show on News Talk 830 WCCO every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. or go to wealthenhancement.com to connect with one of our advisors.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hey, Jordana, I'm Brian. I'm 58 and single. I have a house, a bunch of investments. I have a sister I'm close to, but no kids or anything tying me down, so I never really worried about planning for the future. Recently, a friend of mine passed away unexpectedly without a will or a trust, and it created a huge mess for the family he left behind. I don't want to be a burden on my sister. I want to be prepared. So why should I choose Gutman Law?
Hi, Brian. Your instincts are correct. If you were to do nothing, the state would decide who's in charge and how to distribute your assets, which is probably not what you want. And your sister will have a lot to sort out by herself. Now, this is the reason why I chose Gutman Law. My family, Matt and Jamie, were so sensitive to the nuances of my situation after a divorce. An estate plan is more than just names and numbers on a piece of paper. It's family. Making it easy on them is what matters most. From healthcare directives to wills to living trusts, Gutman Law can help you determine what type of planning makes sense to protect you and your loved ones. 612-895-1616 or go to mnestatelaw.com. Gutman Law, giving you peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Larry Older here. Let me share Brian's story from Alabama, my mom's home state. He tells us after taking Relief Factor for just 3 weeks, at least 90% of my pain is gone. My pain has started to limit me at work and at home, and now I'm amazed at how much relief I've gotten, end of quote. These are Brian's own words, and they speak volumes about what Relief Factor can do for you. I've told you about my buddy Tom, an avid golfer, out on the green almost every single day. He says without Relief Factor, he wouldn't be able to swing freely because of shoulder pain or back pain. But since taking it, he said he stayed active, comfortable, and confident in his swing. He is a scratch golfer. That's why I encourage you to try Relief Factor yourself and see what it can do for you. Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. 800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com. That's relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain? 800-4RELIEF, relieffactor.com.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
DeRUSH Hour News headlines going in depth now on the issue of diesel prices. We are all dealing with higher prices at the pump for unleaded gasoline, but the impact on our economy of diesel is maybe even deeper than you would think about. And so to get a little insight on this, Emmett Lindner, who is a business reporter for the New York Times, wrote on this topic earlier today at nytimes.com. He's with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Emmett, thanks for being here.
Hey, Jason, thanks for having me.
Obviously, we know that diesel is used by truck drivers and used to ship stuff all over the country. You have looked at the impact because diesel price has gone up way more than our gasoline has gone up.
That's right.
And so what surprised you as far as you were reaching out to different companies in the way that they're sort of dealing with this situation right now?
Yeah, well, I think that gasoline is front of mind for Americans. It's what's, posted on signs across highways, towns across the country. But that sort of takes away from the idea of how much diesel is impacting grocery stores, these American wallets across the country. So reaching out to folks, it was surprising how quickly this is happening, and how soon this might be affecting Americans' wallets.
Gasoline is up about 33% all around the country. Diesel up nearly 45%, according to AAA. But when you're looking at actual dollars, that 45% gets you to over $5 a gallon for diesel. This is beyond just like the Amazon trucks that are driving stuff to our homes all over the country, right?
Yeah, it's a quiet impact at first, because all of these goods that we have in our homes, that we see at grocery stores, these are all shipped from places sometimes around the country, sometimes from outside of the country. And these ships, these trucks are all powered by diesel. So as the price of diesel goes up, the cost of transport goes up. And that's going to, at some point in what I've been hearing the next few weeks, next few months, going to start, showing up in prices on shelves.
Surcharges are starting to show up a little bit. You reported about the Postal Service adding a temporary 8% surcharge on packages. I think a lot of us remember the fuel surcharges that were popping up years ago throughout the economy. Are the experts you talk to expecting to see more of those fuel surcharges?
It seems as though it's popping up more and more across these transportation industries. Rail industries use diesel, shipping industries, trucking industries, and outside of diesel, I mean, jet fuel also going up. We had, the CEO of United Airlines saying last week that he was expecting maybe 20% increases if, oil supplies remain disrupted. So it is affecting diesel, but it's also affecting all of the ways that we move around the country and that goods are moved around the country.
Yeah, we've seen this here, Twin Cities-based Ecolab, which is a giant company that creates kind of disinfectant technology and equipment for restaurants and hospitals all over. They've added a 10 to 14% energy surcharge increase to all of their products. One of the things that I found interesting in your report is the fact that diesel not only powers the trucks that are moving things all over the country, but there are a number of industries. There was a supply chain professor that you talked to who talked about some different kind of factories and industries that are powered by diesel fuel as well.
That's right. Yeah, I think diesel is pretty quietly affecting the economy until it is very loudly affecting the economy.
Yeah.
Clothing industries, mining industries, all of that is a lot of the times powered by diesel. So you're going to see basic commodity items as well as, discretionary items like clothing start to go up too if these prices remain high. If oil is still not really getting through in the Strait of Hormuz in the Middle East, it's going to start really showing up in retail stores around the country here.
Yeah. One of the facts that you had in here that surprised me, sometimes it's the granular statistics where you're like, oh man, I never really thought of this in that perspective. But the fact that a logistics company was looking at trucks and told you that each individual like semi truck that's hauling stuff all over the country can use 300 gallons of fuel in a week. So you're looking at like $2,000. I mean, a week just to gas up the truck. You think about that, and it's like, this logistics company told you that they're barely breaking even, right?
That's right. Yeah. And they're, one of the luckier ones. I don't know if I want to say lucky, but they're able to weather the storm or weather the crisis a little better because they are sort of a medium-sized company. But the, owner-operators who own their own trucks, they usually rely on fixed rates. And it's much harder for them to do these surcharges because clients can go elsewhere. They don't have as much bargaining power. And if you start to see disruptions there, it's going to have real ripple effects through transportation around the country.
Emmett Lindner is a business reporter for the New York Times talking about the impact of the price of diesel. Obviously, all of this because of what's going on in Iran and going on in the Strait of Hormuz. If things settle, if the war stops or the strait becomes safer, what is sort of the ramping up period to where you might expect to see diesel fuel prices starting to go down?
Yeah, I think there's a misconception that once oil starts moving through the strait again, everything will be stabilized, everything will go back to normal. But there's been a lot of damage to infrastructure, to energy fields out in the Middle East. And those, there's not a switch you can flip to turn those back on. It's going to take a little bit of time to get things operational. It's going to take time to go through safety inspections to make sure everything can run smoothly. So if you see that, there will be some, echo effect even once everything's up and running. It might be a few weeks, it might be more. But it's going to take a little bit of breathing room between when the supply opens up again and when we start to see prices go down.
You sort of bookended your piece talking about Maui Brewing and the cost. We have our own brewers here in Minnesota. I'm not too worried about the Maui Brewing operation, but it is fascinating that they're considering partnering up with a brewer on the mainland of the United States that could produce the products for them, just because that's just how oppressive the cost of shipping is right now.
That's right. It's really difficult to, especially out there. I think they're really illustrative of the kind of company that it doesn't really have a lot of other means to do this.
Right.
They transported by ship, and as Garrett the brewer told me, he ships all of these raw goods out just to make it into beer and ship it right back. So he's kind of paying double the price in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's been certain levers that the Trump administration has tried to pull to try to ease some of the price, and the Jones Act is one of them, which makes it easier for ships to move things around within the United States. Because before that, it might even have made more economical sense to get a ship taking goods from Algeria to New Jersey instead of from Texas. So it's there's a lot of moving parts to how these goods can even travel throughout the country.
Just a good reminder that just because we see the price of gas right at our face, right along the highways, that diesel impact ends up affecting everything that we buy. So I appreciate your story today and the time. Emmett Lindner, business reporter for the New York Times. Thanks, Emmett.
Great to be here. Thanks, Jason.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
AI startup Thinking Machines just received a major vote of confidence as NVIDIA announced what it's calling a significant investment into the company, supplying Thinking Machines with processors in the multi-year agreement. The former chief technology officer for OpenAI is the co-founder and CEO of Thinking Machines and calls NVIDIA's technology the foundation on which the entire field is built. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Jason here with a challenge and an opportunity. It is an opportunity for you to embrace the theme of spring, of new beginning, of new birth, new rebirth, and make yourself the priority. Livia Weight Control Centers changed my life. They really did. I'm not exaggerating here. They helped me lose 45 pounds. And this happened back in 2022, but it's not a you get there and you're done process. Livia has everything you need to succeed and continue succeeding. Award-winning nutrition program, that's what I use. GLP-1 medical weight loss options, oh man, nobody better. And then that expert one-on-one support, that is the difference maker. I want you to consider starting now because, first of all, you're going to feel the difference in just 2 weeks, right in time for the heart of spring. Second, for a limited time only, and I promise you it's a limited time, join Livia and get 2 free GLP-1 injections. That's going to help kickstart your journey. I don't want you to wait. You deserve it. What are you waiting for? Start your journey today. Enjoy everything that this time of year has to offer. Livia.com is the website, Livea.com, or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Schedule an in-person consultation today.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
The smartest way to spend your money is not to.
Straight Talk offers free 5G phones for new and existing customers on Verizon's 5G network. So the refund money I don't spend on that free phone is the refund money I get to keep for my family. Smart.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Much by Lindner's Construction, lindnersconstruction.com. Crash still working. It's the rollover that has the ramp shut down 35E northbound, East 694. And traffic down to a single lane for East 694 as you make way toward the wreck. Some slowing on 35E northbound as you move across the river bridge heading toward Victoria Street. Across town westbound, some slowing at France Avenue. Protect your home before spring storms arrive. Choose GAF Asphalt Shingles and receive free installation labor this March. Go to lindnersconstruction.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast time brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan at dickeys.com. Here is Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
We chill again tonight with a clear sky, falling back to 24. At least the wind will settle down. It's going to amp up again tomorrow from the southwest, 15 to 25 miles per hour. We'll have the sunshine, though, and it's a warm wind, taking us up to 58 for a high. Not windy Sunday, plenty of sunshine, and a high of 66.
Right now in downtown Minneapolis, 33 degrees, but very, very windy on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH.
This sounds like torture to me.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
It is the walk-up music that says baseball season is here. Our friend Dan Hayes with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Danny, you made it through opening day. How did it feel?
It was great. It was a wonderful day in Baltimore. It was like 75 degrees and
gorgeous.
Yeah. So
and they did it. They did it right too, don't you think? Like they're open in Major League Baseball. They know pageantry, but I feel like Baltimore put out a pretty good show.
I mean, it's easy to do when you have a place like Camden Yards. And you're absolutely right. They do it right. It was really funny though. They messed up the Twins introductions. And, so like none of the players in the dugout was the guys that didn't make the opening day lineup. They were supposed to all be announced and the Orioles were running about 5 minutes behind. So they just cut that, but they didn't tell the Twins. So the Twins were like, they announced Derek Shelton, and nobody's on the field for him to go out and give like high fives to. And so you just start to slowly see the procession of players move out. It's pretty funny. So everything aside from that was pretty well done, spectacular. Opening day is such a fun day to be part of, and yeah, it was beautiful.
And they've done like a lot of work on their stadium, right? So there's sort of a big new scoreboard, and they had like some new club level stuff. So some stuff to show off. The Twins have done some work at Target Field too that I wasn't quite aware of until I saw the email a couple weeks ago that they've redone part of the Champions Club, and there's a little work to be revealed over at Target Field too, huh?
There is, and I think the thing that to be revealed over there is the $2 pregame beers.
Oh,
so that
yes. That is that's where all the juice is, and sort of mixed I have mixed feelings on this. As a fan, that I plan on spending a fair amount of time over at Target Field this summer. $2 pregame sounds pretty darn good.
Yeah, and look, Yeah, I mean, I think they're acknowledging that they need to do some stuff to appease the fans and do things to get them to come to the ballpark. And it, fans are notably upset with the team right now for not spending on payroll and all that stuff. So I think they think they're sort of being tricked. But at the same time, I mean, it's $2 game beers and, just get there before the game 30 minutes before. And
right. And
that's not a terrible deal.
No, and it's not even like bad beer. It's like I think it's the good stuff too.
Yeah, I think I saw a Summit Twins Pilsner,
which is a very good beer.
I had no idea. I thought it was going to be the cheap stuff, and when I saw that, I was a little surprised. So
yeah,
it's definitely look. They have a long way to go with their fans. They have so much making up to do, and really, truly, the way to do that is win and put a team on the field that fans want to go see. And we'll see on that product this year. But at least they're trying they recognize it, that they have work to do. And this is a nice first step.
You wrote an excellent piece today about Joe Ryan's opening day outing. Joe Ryan pitched so well, and I was nervous. I think you were nervous about what we were going to see out of Joe because some of his spring training, kind of the road back, has been a little bumpy.
Yeah. And, I mean, he went in, he had the back tightness, and he missed 2 starts basically because of that, only got 3 spring starts. Even with going to the bullpen for 10, 12 extra pitches last time out 6 days ago, he got 71 pitches. So we knew his progression was still a work in progress. That's why he got to 85 and got pulled yesterday. But the velocity wasn't all the way there, although Joe, to his credit, said, hey, my velocity is exactly where it was about this time last year. And what do you know? He's like, look, the season will take care of itself. And yesterday with all that adrenaline, he looked great. And, it's just going to be a very interesting year for him because this is a guy that last year thought he had been traded. This offseason wondered again if he would be traded. And unfortunately, and have definitely irked some fans with writing it.
Well, your headline, man, like that was not what I wanted to see after Joe Ryan threw a beautiful game. Here's freaking Dan Hayes. Joe Ryan's sharp outing might signal start of the end of his Twins tenure. Give me a week. You couldn't give me one time through the starting rotation, Dan, before you took Joe Ryan away from me?
I mean, I wore a green Grinch costume last night. If it makes you feel any better after I filed that. No, I know, and it's tough. I understand. And look, I mean, it's the elephant in the room. It's going to be there all year, and it's unfortunate because Joe Ryan is fun to watch pitch. He's such a character. I can understand why Twins fans love him. I don't think that he's going to be here long term. And if this team performs as people are kind of projecting, and right now that's not great. It's, it depends where you look, but Baseball Prospectus and Fangraphs says 78 wins. The Vegas odds makers are saying 71.5 or 72.5. It's not going to be a great season if the odds makers are all correct. If they overperform, we could see Joe Ryan all year and next year, and that would be awesome. But he's 2 years right now from free agency, and the optimal time to trade a guy is at 1.5 years. And so if they're terrible, I mean, the reality is they're going to probably have to cash in on him in July, and that's unfortunate, but it's just the reality of things, and it's worth looking at. But the thing is Joe Ryan knows that, and no distractions yesterday, just looked unbelievable. Yeah. And I think we're in for a really good season from him.
I think as Dan Hayes joins us, he writes at The Athletic. You can subscribe via the app or just subscribe to the New York Times and you get the whole thing. One of the things I thought was interesting about that piece is how aware Joe Ryan is of the issue. And we hear so much about how, professional athletes want to have their contracts settled so they're not distracted, this or that. Joe, he's always struck me as a sort of Zen kind of guy, but the ability to understand the business reality. And if the team is below 500, it would almost be negligent to not extract the value you could out of Joe Ryan unless the plan was to, back up the money truck to Target Field and really make significant moves, which clearly that is not the case.
And look, the what he's going to want most likely in free agency is frontline starter money, and if he gets to free agency, he's earned that right to test the market and check it out, and
then you get nothing. You get nothing,
right? And I think the Twins, if they're going to do any kind of big spending on an annual value of a contract, it's going to be short term. I just don't think they're a franchise that with the economics of baseball can probably do a long term, like a 6-7 year deal at $30 million a year, and that's probably what he's looking for. I don't know if that is realistic. I don't know what the market will look like at the time, and I don't know that he's going to be older. I mean, I think he's 29 this year. He's going to be older when this happens. Do you want to extend a guy till he's like 37? And that's a tough call. So like all those factors, the way you do this when you're a team that is like the Twins is you got to know when to cash in, and that potentially could be this summer. And it's not fun to write about, but it's funny. I saw Joe Ryan this morning at the train station where both he and his dad were getting on a train to Washington D.C. for the day off, and I was too. And he'd seen it, and he like acknowledged the article and didn't say said anything wrong with it. So.
I always think that's interesting, right? Because you guys spend so much time together, and you do end up when you're on the road in the same spot the day after you write something.
You don't want to make him. I saw him, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're getting on the same train to DC. I was like, I hope he doesn't see me in my Grinch costume. This is gonna be weird.
Right. So, you don't want to make him mad on opening day. I mean, give it a week. Dan, I mean, everything that you just said makes sense in terms of in a vacuum baseball decisions, right? It's all defensible. It's all, but the Twins don't live in a vacuum. Obviously, they live in a situation where the team is constantly accused of not spending money. With that's a fair accusation, and you have a chair of the ownership group saying, no, we're gonna spend. I'm all in on this. Doesn't Joe Ryan in this contract situation then become an opportunity for him, who says, well, we got into it too late on spring, in the spring in terms of free agents, and that's why we didn't spend there. Okay, well, now here's an opportunity right in front of you, even if it's maybe not the optimal baseball play, to say, no, I really want to get the fan base engaged, and here's how I'm going to prove it.
Do you re-sign him now?
I'm going to offer him an extension right now.
Interesting.
Look, if he's willing to take the contract that the Phillies pitcher just took, and I can't remember which pitcher it was, same exact situation. He's a year younger. He's 28. He took 5 years, and I think the average was 29 a year, somewhere around that. If Joe Ryan was open to that, I think that could be something they'd be amenable to. But I mean, I think he really wants to get to free agency and test it. I think he, again, that's your right to do that. I just think that I don't know that it aligns right now. And if it did, I think they'd be open to it. I mean, look, Tom Pohlad flew to California in January to have lunch with Joe Ryan. I think the desire is probably known is that he knows that Joe Ryan's an important part of the Twins, and he was in the hall yesterday hugging Joe Ryan. So it's clear that there's been a line of communication there. I agree with you, Dan, that it would be great.
That would send a message.
Do that.
Yeah, no doubt.
It certainly would. But this team has so many things to get done, and it's I don't know. It's gonna be. You need so many position players to turn it around and prove themselves right now. And if they don't, you're going to need more young talent, and you're going to need it, sooner than later.
We saw a lot of guys left in scoring position last night, which felt familiar.
Yes, very
familiar.
Well, and that's the fear, right?
That's the fear. You have a great pitching night, and
good starting pitching. Lineup doesn't score with guys in scoring position, and the bullpen gives up a few runs late. You lose a bunch of balls.
Yeah, and the worst part was of the bullpen. Those were just bleeders. The two hits the first two hits that jump started that rally were C&I singles, the kind of hits the Twins couldn't buy yesterday. Yeah. And the Twins hit the ball pretty hard, 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position. I mean, if you're looking at a game to kind of go out there and reaffirm everything that Twins fans are fearing about this team. Yesterday was it. Good starting pitching. Offense just doesn't come through in the clutch. And then the bullpen is the one that blows it. And unfortunately, I don't think that Cody Funderburk or Justin Topa were all that bad.
No.
I just think, man, it was,
opening day and opening stud for Baltimore too. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, he was incredible.
He was
Trevor Rogers really dialed it up when he got in trouble yesterday. But there were some bad-looking swings on changeups and curveballs and
Dan,
a lot of double plays.
With you in Washington D.C., I thought you could kind of work out this TSA thing, but it seemed like you didn't. You didn't quite get the deal done. It was nice of you to go to Capitol Hill.
Mike didn't have me down to the Hill.
Yeah.
I did. I went to Washington and I went to the Lincoln and I went to Air and Space. I didn't make it over to Capitol Hill. They didn't send me an invite.
You're just the man we need. You are. Dan Hayes with The Athletic. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Dan.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Drive Time back to wrap it up in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Get to Tureen Dermatology. It's Jason here for My Dermatologist. If you're watching on the video feed, if you guys could just take a look. I got a little spot, right? Do you think, is this how you're diagnosing the marks on your skin? I hope not. I hope not. You need an expert. You need someone you can trust. You need Dr. Mohiba Tureen and her team at Tureen Dermatology. 10 locations all over the Twin Cities. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's where I go. I get a full-body skin checkup every year. My wife does it twice a year because both of us have a history of skin cancer in our families. It's something we are not messing around with. Dr. Tureen won't let us. She won't let you either. 10 locations. What does that mean for you? It means you can get an appointment within 3 weeks. That is unheard of in Twin Cities dermatology clinics. 651-633-6883 or request an appointment today. Do it at TureenDermatology.com.
Ready to free up your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at AmazonBusiness.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-1102. That's 800-575-1102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I own a coffee shop, and I wanted to label everything with our logo.
That's ambitious.
Cups, boxes, bags.
Ooh, that'll add up.
Not at all. Because right now, Staples prints custom labels for 30% off.
30% off? That's shockingly affordable branding.
Yep. Now our logo and URL are seen all over town.
Brand your business for less at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or in the app by 4/18 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
For years, Gone South has been a podcast about crime in the American South. But for our new season, we're widening the lens. Through deeply reported, narrative-driven stories, we're digging into the myths, scandals, and power structures that still shape the South, and, in a lot of ways, the country itself. Follow and listen to Gone South Season 5, an Odyssey podcast. Available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Good news, North 35E to eastbound 694. The rollover is cleared out of the way. The ramp has been reopened. North 35E itself looking good from 94 to 694. Save on your favorite brands at Whole Foods Market. Get 30% off select Annie's favorites with Prime through April 7th. Shop sales on mac and cheese, cookies, granola bars, puffs, crackers, and gummies. While supplies last, shop in store, online. Terms apply. Terry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
You sit on your deck, and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding. Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast is windy, windy, windy tonight and tomorrow. JTR Roofing bringing us the forecast. Tomorrow, looking at a high of around 58. But again, that wind is going to be a red flag warning until 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Sunday looks perfect. You enjoy Sunday. It's going to be 68 degrees and delightful. So, good stuff. Right now, it is, I don't know what the temperature is. I closed it. Who cares? Look at your phone. Is that wrong, Dan? That wasn't the answer you wanted? Fine, it's 30. Ugh, 33. What in the heck happened? What happened here? It was sunny. It was beautiful. It's going to be spring on Sunday. I don't know. Continental Diamond time check is 5:57. Man, this weekend, I would be so grateful if you stop in at Continental Diamond in St. Louis Park and tell them, hey, I heard DeRUSH talking about your awesome watch collection. Can I see what you got? Go check it out at Continental Diamond. We have no show on Monday because the Twins have baseball. Can I tell you how happy I am about baseball season? Cook and I are fired up. Henry's next.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down